Pokémon, I became a principal and hired Liu Bo as a teacher. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51, Liu Family's Speculation. Waste, hiss. At the same time, Zhuang Wenwen, who was recovering from his injuries at home, saw the video coming from his mobile phone and cursed while covering his wounds. I didn't go to school for just 2 days, and as a result, such a big thing happened. Their school was actually kicked out. Zhuang Wenwen felt that he had been very unlucky these past 2 days. Kong Xian somehow got into contact with the Zhao family and paid off all his debts. This time my school met another challenger, and yesterday he heard from a friend from the Education Bureau that Evergreen College will participate in the recruitment of new students next semester. We absolutely cannot let them pass the exam as they wish. A hint of gloom flashed in Zhuang Wenwen's eyes. Their two schools are next to each other. If Evergreen College participates in recruiting new students for the next semester, their school's students' resources will definitely be divided, which he will never tolerate. As he spoke, Zhuang Wenwen picked up his cell phone and made a call. Soon a middle-aged male voice came over the phone. "Hey, Bureau Liu, I'm Zia Zhuang, from Ivy League College." When the call was connected, Zhuang Wenwen looked flattering and servile, nodding and bowing to compliment the man he called Director. Liu was the deputy director of the Suhang Municipal Education Bureau. Zhuang Wenwen called him to ask Director Liu to use some tricks to undermine the Evergreen Pokémon Academy's review in a few days. "Oh, it's Zia Zhuang. What's the matter on the phone?" "That's it, Bureau Liu. I heard a few days ago that Evergreen College is going to conduct a new recruitment review, isn't it? Look at me, Evergreen College, next to me. I'm not asking for your help. When it's done, the benefits will definitely come to you." Zhuang Wenwen tactfully stated his request to Bureau Liu. As long as Evergreen College fails to pass the review this year, their school will not be able to continue operating as usual. Just as Zhuang Wenwen was happily waiting for the other party's agreement, there was a burst of anger on the phone. "Zhuang Wenwen, then who should I? Liu Changbin, I can't do this. Find someone else." Daruado. Then a busy signal came from the phone. When he heard the busy signal from the phone, Zhuang Wenwen was stunned and did not react for a while. Hey, Director Liu, we can talk about the money in detail." Unwilling to be reconciled, Zhuang Wenwen yelled into the phone twice more. "Since you are unwilling to help me, don't blame me. If someone dies or is injured, don't blame me." Zhuang Wenwen's eyes flashed with a trace of viciousness. Made a call he didn't want to make. "I didn't expect that our Yulong family doesn't know the dragon system the best." At the same time, in the Zhao family conference room, Mr. Zhao sighed. His eldest son just told him that Dragonair's crystal beads contain the ability to control the weather if trained properly. The power will not be lost to Dragonite. This is the first time they have heard of Dragonair's ability. By the way, have you found the information about Master Gu and Alliance, Mr. Zhao pondered for a moment and asked his son. His eldest grandson Zhao Jin told him before that Master Gu used to be a gym trainer. All gym trainer information can be found in Alliance's information database, and the Zhao family happens to be able to say something in Alliance. Mr. Zhao asked Zhao Liangayu to look up the information about Master Gu and see where he worked as a gym trainer before. Why hasn't he heard of such a powerful person? We've already checked it out. Maybe because we don't have enough authority, we haven't found any information about Master Gu. Zhao Liangayu answered truthfully. After returning from Ivy Academy 2 days ago, he asked the Zhao family's people in Alliance to check Gu Liu's information. Unfortunately, no information was found. However, thinking of Master Gu's strength, Zhao Liangayu guessed that Master Gu's identity might be special. The personnel in Alliance do not have enough authority to find out the information about the ancient master. It's possible. Tell Xiaojin that he must let Rang establish a good relationship with Master Gu. This is related to whether our Zhao family can rise." Mr. Zhao pondered for a moment and told Zhao Xianayu he also believes that Gu Liu's status in Alliance is rather special. "Don't worry, father, I have already told Zhao Jin." Zhao Liangayu reassured his father that he had already told his son. Ding ding. At this moment, Zhao Liangayu's cell phone suddenly rang. It was his son who sent him the video call. "PS, there are too many words to prevent the ban. It is divided into 2 chapters. Chapter 52, Zhao family's shock. It's Xiaoqian calling. Zhao Liang Gaiyu took out his cell phone and asked his father if he should answer it. Take it and see what Xiao Jin has to say. Mr. Zhao motioned for Zhao Liang Gaiyu to answer. Yes, father. The video was connected, and Zhao Jin's figure appeared on the phone. Dad, please quickly transfer another few $100 million to Principal Kong. As soon as the video was connected, Zhao Jin immediately asked Zhao Liang Gaiyu to transfer several $100 million more to Kong Xian. You traitor, what did you do again? When Zhao Liang Gaiyu heard this, he was instantly furious. A few days ago, his fourth brother and his son went to Evergreen College to look for trouble. They met Pryce and lost $1 billion, so they settled the matter unexpectedly. His son asked him to transfer several $100 million to Kong Xian. Today Zhao Liang Gaiyu thought his son was in trouble again at school, so he was blackmailed by Principal Kong. Hearing his father's angry rebuke, Zhao Jin suddenly froze and blinked his confused eyes, not knowing what happened. Let's talk about it. What did you do in school? How much does Principal Kong want? Zhao Liang Gaiyu continued to ask. If his son gets into trouble, the father, has to wipe his ass. After hearing his father's question, Zhao Liang Gaiyu realized what was going on. Dad, what are you thinking about? It was Principal Kong who gave me a Dratini egg. I definitely can't take such a precious thing for nothing. Zhao Jin explained to his father. What? Dratini eggs? As soon as Zhao Jin finished speaking, everyone was shocked. Dragon-type Pokemon are powerful and have a long lifespan, but their reproductive ability is too poor. Even their Yulong family does not have too many Dratini for their descendants to use. Otherwise, some Pokemon with dragon characters would not be used for common people. Are you telling the truth? Zhao Liang Gaiyu couldn't help but get excited when he heard about Dratini eggs. If this were true, my son would have a Dratini and a Dragonair. Why are you lying to me? Pryce said one of the two Pokemon will evolve into Dragonite, and the other will be cultivated in the form of Dragonair. Zhao Jin held Dratini's Pokemon egg for everyone to see. Okay, Dad. We'll transfer the money to Principal Kong later. Zhao Xian laughed happily when he saw the Dratini egg in his son's arms. He agreed to his son's request without hesitation. Dratini eggs, these are genuine items with no market price. Buy it with money, and you will make a lot of money from this bargain. By the way, Dad, have you ever heard of Mega Evolution? Zhao Jin thought for a moment and continued to ask his father. The green Mega Charizard left an indelible impression on him. Mega Evolution? What's this? Zhao Liang Gaiyu asked with confusion. I have no idea what Mega Evolution Zhao Jin is talking about. This is it. With that said, Zhao Jin sent a photo to his father. The photo is of the green Mega Charizard. This is a bit like Charizard, but it seems to be a little different from Charizard. It should be a mutated Charizard. It looks like it. Zhao Xian showed the Charizard photo sent by Zhao Jin to his father and brother to look at each other. They all thought it was a mutated Charizard. Son, isn't this just a mutated Charizard? Zhao Liang Gaiyu didn't take it seriously at all. Charizard is Charizard. Even if he mutates, he is still Charizard. In his eyes, there is no way to compare with Dratini. Dad, this is Mega Charizard, a Mega Evolution form of Charizard. Zhao Jin explained to his son. Stop joking, how can Charizard evolve? After hearing Zhao Jin's explanation, Zhao Liang Gaiyu still didn't believe it. All Pokemon currently available can only evolve twice at most, and I have never heard of any Pokemon that can evolve 3 times. If Charizard can really evolve, doesn't it mean that its potential is greater than any other Pokemon? Dad, I saw this with my own eyes. Principal Kong hired a new teacher today, named Kinglu. This person knows Pryce. He is older than me, Arnold, but he has the strength of a champion. This Mega Charizard is the result of Charizard Mega Evolution made by Kinglu when fighting Pryce. Hearing that his father still didn't believe it, Zhao Jin recounted what happened today. At this time, the Zhao family conference room was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. What Zhao Jin just described was too horrifying for them. The 17-year-old has the strength of a champion Charizard that can evolve again. There is also a 14-year-old younger brother who has the ability to be an elite trainer. What kind of perversion is this? They have seen evildoers, but they have never seen such evildoers. I will draw attention to the key and Mega Evolution Stone you just mentioned. Just train well over there. Notify me of any news as soon as possible. After a moment of silence, Zhao Xianyu told Zhao Jin. This incident further strengthened Zhao Xianyu's idea of sending the younger generations of the family there. Don't worry, father, Zhao Jin agreed and then hung up the phone with his father. What do you think? After Zhao Jin hung up the phone, Mr. Zhao asked his sons, mystery, unfathomable, powerful. Several people expressed their opinions one after another, but there was only one result, and that was strong. In this case, let us inform the juniors in the clan that anyone who dares to provoke Evergreen Academy will be dealt with according to the family rules. Mr. Zhao said coldly. The unfathomable Pryce is scary enough. Now there is another King Lu who is young but has the ability to be a top champion with this configuration, not to mention destroying their Zhao family. Even if they destroy the entire Yulong family, it would be just a snap of their fingers. Yes, father, everyone replied seriously before exiting the conference room one by one. Finally, enough people have been recruited. In the evening, Kong stretched himself out after sitting all day after a day of recruitment and advertising in moments. Kong Xian finally recruited all the teachers his school needed to recruit new students. Next time you ask King Lu and the others to do this kind of thing. Erica also stretched out after sitting for a whole day. As a wealthy young lady, how could she ever suffer such hardship? I'll let you come next time. Kong Xian laughed. Erica is the only woman he has summoned so far. Although King Lu is strong, Kong Xian is still willing to be with Erica. As the saying goes, if men and women work together, they will not be tired at work. This is not true at all. Let's go. After a while, Kong Xian packed up everything and started to return to school. Chapter 53, Celebration Banquet. Xiaozheng is awesome. How did you do it? Ninetales looks like you are enjoying it so much. In a classroom, Xiaozheng is massaging Zhao Linger's Pokémon. Pryce, Zhao Linger, Zhao Jin, and Gary were watching from the sidelines. I learned this from a breeder master named Choi Snow. By pressing the Pokémon's acupuncture points, the Pokémon's fatigue can be relieved, especially the newly trained Pokémon are more effective. Xiaozheng explained to Zhao Linger while continuing to massage Ninetales. Under Xiaozheng's massage, Ninetales actually closed her eyes and began to have a little intoxication. It's amazing. Can you teach me how to do it? I'll give Pokémon a massage later, Zhao Linger asked Xiaozheng. Of course, no problem, I'm a teacher in this school. Zhao Jin, Gary, Zhao Jin, if you also want to learn, I can also teach you. Xiaozheng, Gary and others said the school has not started recruiting new students yet, and there are only 3 of them. There was nothing to do in school every day, so he just happened to teach the 3 of them Pokémon massage to pass the time. Really, I want to learn. Gary was not polite to Xiaozheng and was the first to sign up. I want to learn too. Zhao Jin followed closely behind. I said, it turns out you are all here. Just then the classroom door suddenly opened. Kong Xian and Erica opened the door and walked in from the outside. It's the principal and Miss Erica who are back. How did things go? Seeing Kong Xian and Erica coming back, Pryce asked them. I took the initiative myself and of course it was done. Erica flipped up her short hair and said proudly, that's great. As long as we pass the Education Bureau's review, we can enroll students as scheduled. Zhao Linger smiled happily. The Evergreen College, which carried so many memories of hers, was finally alive. By the way, where is King Lu? Why isn't he here? Kong Xian swept around and found that everyone was here except King Lu. I don't know. He said he would be back later today. Gary continued from the side. After the competition with Pryce, King Lu went out and never came back. Well, he should go find a powerful trainer. Kong Xian nodded and said, it's not difficult to guess what King Lu is doing. I wonder if those unlucky trainers will be targeted by King Lu. By the way, Gary, you should know all about Pokemon's abilities. Kong Xian suddenly asked Gary. Well, basically I know. Gary nodded. As the grandson of Professor Oak, he traveled to various regions to observe Pokemon. Pokemon's ability is knowledge that trainers must master. He must know. That's alright. Xiaozheng and I are going to have a social gathering tonight. Please help me cover the live broadcast tonight. Kong Xian asked Gary for help tonight. He and Xia Gang were going to attend the celebration banquet of the Suhang Municipal Investigation Bureau. Not sure when I will come back. He wanted Gary to live broadcast instead of him. You can also use this opportunity to increase Gary's popularity and gain more reputation points. Alice, should I go too? Xia Gang said, a little surprised. Of course, you are the protagonist today. Kong Xian smiled slightly and said, no one can go today, but only Xia Gang. Several gangsters were solved by Xia Gang, and Xia Gang was the first to do so. The rest of them are just auxiliaries. Ha, let's go clean it up first. After hearing Kong Xian's confirmation, Xia Gang ran out excitedly, preparing to pack up and go to the celebration banquet with Kong Xian. That? Kong Xian, I don't know how to do live broadcasts. After Xia Gang left, Gary scratched his head in embarrassment. There was no such thing as live streaming in their world. He has never been exposed to live broadcasts. Leave these things to me. I'll teach Gary how to live stream. At this moment, Zhao Jin took the initiative to take over the task of teaching Gary live broadcast. In that case, there is no problem. I will also go and clean up. After the tasks were assigned, Kong Xian turned around and left, going back to clean up himself. Xia Gang, is this what you're wearing? After a while, Kong Xian was stunned when he looked at Xia Gang's clothes. I saw Xia Gang wearing a formal suit and looking very formal. Those who didn't know better thought he was a real estate salesperson. Is there anything wrong? Xia Gang turned around and looked at his attire, but he didn't feel anything was wrong. Don't you have to dress like this when attending a banquet? Upon hearing Xia Gang's answer, Kong Xian immediately understood that Xia Gang had made a mistake. Xia Gang probably thought that the banquet he was going to attend this time was a dancing banquet. Ahem, we're just going to drink this time. Kong Xian coughed twice and said, in the Yanhuang region, celebration banquets and other banquets are basically all about drinking. Ahem, the celebration banquet in our world is actually a bunch of people drinking, and most of them are men. It's a little different than what you imagined. Kong Xian coughed twice and slowly explained. After Xia Gang heard this, he instantly withered into an eggplant and lowered his head. He thought he could dance with a little sister today who knew it was actually drinking. Then, I'll go back and change some clothes. Xia Gang looked frustrated and wanted to go back and change clothes. Forget it, that's it. The party chiefs are starting to rush us. Kong Xian stopped Xia Gang, and Deng Yinghu had already urged him just now. Now the only thing missing from the celebration party is the two of them. Chapter 54, Unlucky Yi Hei. Kong Xian Xia Gang sighed. Kong Xian and Xia Gang came to a barbecue restaurant called Circle of Friends together. The barbecue here is all about average animals. The arrival of Pokémon has changed the ecosystem of Aqua Blue Star. However, some poultry commonly used by humans survive under human protection. As soon as they got off the bus, Deng Yinghu is already waiting for them at the door. You are finally here. Seeing Kong Xian and Xia Gang get off the bus, Deng Yinghu hurried to greet them. When Deng Yinghu saw Xia Gang's attire, she was also stunned. She didn't know why Xia Gang was dressed so formally. I'll tell you. Kong Xian lay in Deng Yinghu's ear and didn't know what he said. Then I heard Deng Yinghu covering her mouth and letting out a bell-like laughter. I don't know why I came here to drink, Xia Gang explained with a blushing face. If he knew he was here to drink, he would definitely not dress like this. It's okay, it's all the same, let's go. It's already started inside. Deng Yinghu put away her laughter and led Kong Xian from the front. Soon the three of them came to a mega-sized box. It's not so much a private room as it is a hall specifically used for gatherings. At this time, there were already many gym trainers who had cooperative relationships with the investigators in the box. All members of the criminal investigation team of the Investigation Bureau also came. Pokémon were frolicking back and forth in the hall, occasionally touching a plate of dried fruits. Ahem, everyone, please be quiet. Our protagonists Xia Gang and Principal Kong are here. Pushing open the door of the box, Deng Yinghu clapped her hands and introduced Kong Xian and Xia Gang to everyone. Our city hero is finally here. Welcome. It's up to you, Principal. Kong is finally here. Suddenly there was a round of applause in the box, welcoming the arrival of Kong Xian and Xia Gang. Kong Xian, these are gym trainers who have a cooperative relationship with our investigation bureau. You can have a good chat. It won't go wrong to get to know more people. Deng Yinghu pointed to another small group of people and said, taking advantage of the celebration banquet being held today, she invited all the gym trainers who had cooperative relationships with them in addition to communicating with each other. The other thing is to introduce these people to Kong Xian. Kong Xian runs a Pokémon Academy, so he will inevitably interact with these people in the future. Brother Kong, this way, sit here. A middle-aged man waved to Kong Xian and motioned for him to go over. This person is Bai Kang, whom Kong Xian met yesterday, the gym trainer of Baiao Gym. I'm coming. Kong Xian waved his hand towards Bai Kang and shouted, "I'll go there first." Kong Xian said to Dang Yinghu that he was going to have a chat with Bai Kang and the others. "Okay, you guys chat first while I go get busy." Dang Yinghu signaled Kong Xian to go first. "Let's go, Xiaogang." Kong Xian took Xiaogang to Beikang. "Ha, you gym leaders, I have long admired your name." Kong Xian bowed his hands towards the many gym trainers and said politely, "Gyms that can cooperate with the Investigation Bureau are among the best in Suzhou and Hangzhou. Ha, it should be because we have admired your name for a long time. Now the whole country is learning about your Pokemon ability." Yes, Pokemon's ability simply opens the door to a new world of Pokemon. I heard that Principal Kong is recruiting, and I'm very excited about the salary and benefits. Many gym trainers also said politely to Kong Xian, "Everyone, don't ignore the children around Principal Kong. Even though he is young, he is an elite trainer." Yesterday's bank robbery, but this little brother turned the tide and solved all the robbers by himself. Bai Kang focused on Xiaogang next to Kong Xian. Today's protagonist is not Kong Xian, but Xiaogang next to him. He didn't know how surprised he was when he learned that Xiaogang was an elite trainer. Elite trainer, real or fake? This is too old. Are you 20? After hearing Bai Kang's introduction, many gym trainers began to whisper. Obviously some don't believe it because most of them are also elite trainers, but he is much older than Xiaogang. Xiaogang is a teacher in our school. He is indeed an elite trainer, but he has not yet passed the exam for the title of elite trainer. Kong Xian heard the whispers of many gym trainers and explained on the side, "Xiaogang, release your Pokemon and let them breathe." After saying that, Kong Xian arranged for Xiaogang to release his Pokemon. "Clear, come out, Steelix, Swampert, Chansey, and you, Crobat, Krogunk, Geodude, Comfey." Xiaogang immediately released all his Pokemon. The 7 red lights that accompany the Pokeball. All Xiaogang's Pokemon were released. It's Steelix, Swampert and Chansey. They were all super rare Pokemon. Look at the levels of his Pokemon. They are all above level 50. Steelix's level even reached 60. Good boy, how does such a young elite trainer train like this? Principal Kong is really generous. You actually let such a young elite trainer serve as a teacher. Seeing Xiaogang's Pokemon level, everyone believed that Xiaogang was an elite trainer. Xiaogang's Pokemon allowed Kong Xian to harvest a wave of reputation points from many gym trainers. By the way, why haven't you met Master Yi? Isn't she coming today? Kong Xian looked around and found that Yi from the Super Gymnasium yesterday was not there, so he asked curiously. She received a temporary gym challenge. This is the guy who came right after he said the fight was over. Bai Kang explained on the side, while taking out his mobile phone and calling up a video for Kong Xian to watch. When Kong Xian saw the person in the video, he couldn't help but exclaimed, "Green." The video played on Bai Kang's cell phone was the video of Qing Lu completely torturing Li Mengsu Charizard of Ivy League school. Kong Xian felt sorry for Yi for a second and hoped that Yi would not be cast into a shadow. Huh? Principal Kong knows him. Hearing Kong Xian's exclamation, Bai Kang asked curiously. This person suddenly appeared in their Suhang city this afternoon, because the Pokemon used was a red mantis Pokemon that he had never seen before, so this video spread quickly in their Suzhou and Hangzhou cities. "I am coming." When Cao arrived, Yi opened the door and came in gloomily. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, Screen Debut. Yi came in with a gloomy face and found a seat to sit down without saying a word. He opened a bottle of beer and took 2 sips. "I'm so angry," What? Old bastard gave him my Pokémon? Yee. Hey, who was still angry, threw the bottle of wine on the table, venting her frustration. She had wanted to see this unknown Pokémon, but who knew that this Pokémon was level 78, championship level strength? How could she be the rival of this Pokémon when she was just an elite trainer? Without any surprise, 3 of his Pokémon were shaved bald by the opponent. Ever since she started working as a gym trainer, she had never been so frustrated. Everyone was also affected by the strange emotion and did not dare to speak loudly for fear of offending this ant. Looking at Yuhei's appearance, Kong Xian instantly knew that Yuhei had lost. Not only did he lose, but he lost miserably. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so angry. Drink, drink. Everyone is happy when they come out to play. Getting drunk will relieve your worries. Kong Xian picked up a glass of wine and consoled her, changing the subject. At this juncture, if she knew that Kinglu was a teacher in their school, maybe. Why are you crazy? Yes, yes, drink, drink. When the others heard this, they all agreed, picked up their glasses and drank together. Fuck it, drink. No one can go outstanding today. The more Yuhei thought about it, the angrier she became, so she simply stopped thinking about it and started drinking with everyone. Principal Kong drank like this today. I'm afraid there's no way to broadcast it live. Time gradually came to the time when Kong Xian was about to broadcast live. The members attending the banquet were basically in a tipsy contest condition, and Xia Gang had already passed out from drinking. Principal Kong is making money every day. If you don't live broadcast today, you will come to drink with us. If you don't bring down Principal Kong, you will be sorry for Principal Kong today. Hey, you thought I wouldn't live broadcast today? Then you are wrong. I hired a student to live broadcast for me. Today's live broadcast will continue as usual. Kong Xian shook his slightly drunk body and said proudly, damn it, there's a live broadcast today. What time is it now? What time is it? 8:50. It starts in 10 minutes. It's going crazy. It's going crazy. Who brings a notebook and pen? Why is there still a live broadcast today? When they heard that there would be a live broadcast today, everyone was instantly smelling salts. They all opened their mobile phones and found Kong Xian's live broadcast room. Ability is a new thing for Pokémon, and they don't want to miss it. Then a strange scene appeared in the hall. Everyone was lying or sitting, quiet and waiting for the live broadcast to start. From time to time someone would have a skewer or two, or take a sip or two of beer. Seeing this scene, Kong Xian was stunned. You have all gone to study. What about me? Can't you just watch the replay tomorrow? Kong Xian persuaded everyone, in order to have a drink with you, I asked someone to broadcast a live broadcast on my behalf. As a result, you actually want to watch the live broadcast. That's not possible. There's still tomorrow. That's right. That's right. Principal Kong, please don't affect my study. Haha. Principal Kong, you can drink it yourself first. Dang. Yinghua sat on a sofa, took out a notebook, crossed her legs and said with a smile, covering her mouth, let Kong Xian drink by himself. TCH, it's boring, seeing everyone studying. Kong Xian was bored and turned on his mobile phone to enter the live broadcast room. Let's see how Gary makes his screen debut today. There are still 10 minutes left before the live broadcast starts, and there is nothing on the screen except barrages. Gary, when the time reaches 9 o'clock, just click on this button. Chanking College Student Dormitory, Zhaojin Coaching, and Gary started the live broadcast. Okay, I get it. Gary nodded and said, after just learning, he has mastered the basic functions of live broadcast. As time passed little by little, it was finally time to start the live broadcast at 9 o'clock. Gary's figure came into everyone's sight. It finally started. It finally started. I didn't know I would talk about those Pokemon's abilities again today. Huh? Why has the person been replaced? Where is Principal Kong? Children, hurry up and call Principal Kong. Who is this kid? Where is her? Principal Kong? Principal Kong's account has not been stolen, right? When Gary's figure appeared in everyone's sight, the barrage asked who Gary was and where Kong Xian went. Hello, everyone. Principal Kong has something to do and is unable to broadcast today. Gary, will live broadcast instead of Principal Kong today. In front of millions of viewers, Gary showed no fear and openly introduced himself and the whereabouts of Kong Xian. It's not interesting without Principal Kong, so I slipped away. What do you know, you kid? We are going to learn Pokemon's abilities. Do you know that? Be obedient and call Principal Kong. We're going to listen to Pokemon's abilities. Many netizens saw that it was not Kong Xian who was doing the live broadcast, so they immediately exited the live broadcast room. The other part plans to take a look before making a decision. It's actually him. No, although they look alike, they have different temperaments. Li Mengsu, who was watching the live broadcast, saw Gary appearing on the phone. The first thing she thought of was the person who tortured her today, but then she rejected it. Although the two people look similar, if you look carefully, there are still subtle differences, especially in terms of temperament. The person today has facial paralysis, and the person who replaced Principal Kong on the live broadcast looked much more active than that person. Xian. Kong, you bastard, you and him are actually in the same group. No wonder you keep making me drink. I thought you wanted to sleep with me, but that was your intention. At the same time, on the other side, Yihei saw Gary appearing in the live broadcast room. I immediately recognized Gary as Kinglu. Vent all the frustration I suffered from Kinglu on Kong Xian. Listen to my explanation. Listen to my explanation. Kong Xian blocked Yihei's attack and wanted to explain. Kong Xian, what on earth is going on? Deng Yinghu asked Kong Xian curiously, wondering what happened. That's right, Gary, who is live broadcasting for me, is a student in our school and is only 14 years old this year. The person who challenged Master Yi is called Kinglu. He is Gary's brother and is also a teacher at our Evergreen Academy. I don't know if Kinglu is going to challenge Master Yi. Kong Xian shouted that he was wronged. Kinglu was free to challenge anyone, and he had no right to care. Is there a difference? Aren't they all yours? After hearing this, Yihei's chest trembled with anger and she roared towards Kong Xian. Be it Gary or Green, they are not all from Evergreen College. If a normal person had been defeated, she wouldn't be so angry, but the other party is too bullying. Using a champion-level Pokemon to find one of his elite trainers is not bullying. Okay, let's watch the live broadcast first, and we'll talk about this later. Deng Yinghu acted as peacemaker and called Yihei to the other side to watch the live broadcast first. P.S. If nothing else, this book will be on the shelves at 10 o'clock tonight. Chapter 56, I'll make a profit this time. This time we'll start with Trico. Trico, the Gravel Pokemon, can use the small spines on its soles to hook onto walls and climb vertically, and is used to attacking with its huge tail. Attribute is Grass type. Trico has two abilities. The first is Lushness. When Trico is exhausted, there is a certain probability of activating the Lushness ability. After activating the Lushness ability, the power of grass-based moves will be greatly increased. The second ability is Trico's hidden ability, Light Armor. After Trico loses what he is carrying, his speed will double. This ability can only be used in the wild and is difficult to trigger in official competitions. There are no changes to Trico's evolved Gravile and Sceptile ability. Gary slowly introduced Trico's ability for him. Pokemon's abilities are simply at his fingertips. There is no difficulty. Teacher Gary explains in such detail. All the characteristics of Pokemon are explained. It is indeed more detailed than Principal Kong. In terms of ability alone, I feel that Trico is not as good as Bulbasaur and Chikorita, who also have abundant abilities. It is indeed a little worse. Bulbasaur's hidden ability Chlorophyll will trigger 053 under sunny day weather, doubling the speed, and it is very powerful when combined with the sun's flames. But Trico needs to lose the items he carries. The official competition of Alliance does not allow Pokemon to carry items. This ability can only be used in the wild if it is triggered. Chikorita's leaf defense is also good. Under sunny day contest condition, it will not fall into status condition. I want to know if grass-type Pokemon have the ability to flash fire, store water, and store electricity. I want to challenge the grass-type gym. Gary had just finished talking about Trico's ability, and countless comments suddenly went up on the internet, discussing it with each other. Ling, your student, Gary, is recognized by others, and his reputation value will be increased by 1. Ling, your student, Gary, is recognized by others, and his reputation value will increase. Ling, your student, Gary, is recognized by others, and his reputation value will be increased by 1 at the same time. A series of system prompts sounded in Kong Xian's mind. In just a few minutes, Kong Xian gained more than 200,000 reputation points. How about it? My student taught it well. Kong Xian, who had nothing to do, showed off to everyone. Much better than you, Yi. Hei glared at Kong Xian, Although this man named Gary was King Lou's younger brother, but that didn't stop her from praising Gary. This student seems to know a lot about Pokemon. What does his family do? As Gary explains, more and more people recognize Gary. The reason is that Gary's explanation is more detailed than Kong Xian's. It not only talks about Pokemon's abilities, but also talks about Pokemon's characteristics. His grandfather is a Pokemon professor, so he knows a lot about Pokemon. Kong Xian explained. Apart from the fact that his grandfather is Professor Oak, a larger part of Gary's understanding of Pokemon comes from his own observation and exploration. No wonder you know so much about Pokemon. Bye. Kang suddenly understood and nodded. My grandpa is a Pokemon professor, so it's no wonder that he knows so much about Pokemon at a young age. By the way, Principal Kong, what Pokemon is that red cockroach that King Lou uses? At this moment, someone asked Kong Xian again, wanting to know what the red mantis Pokemon in King Lou's hand was. Scizor, the evolved form of Scyther, bug type and hard Pokemon. The abilities are Insect Premonition, Technical Master, and Light Metal respectively. Kong Xian explained slowly. What? Scyther's evolved form? Principal Kong, can Scyther still evolve? Hearing that Scizor was the evolved form of Scyther, everyone stopped their pens and asked Kong Xian curiously, ahem, have you forgotten Principal Kong's rules? Bye. Kang coughed twice to remind everyone. I forgot. I'm sorry, Principal Kong. Don't take it personally. Sorry, I was so excited just now. After hearing Bai Kang's reminder, the trainers who had just asked Kong Xian how Scyther evolved into Scizor all apologized to Kong Xian. A Pokemon's new evolutionary chain is worth at least 9 digits. They can't afford so much money at once. It's okay. It doesn't matter if I tell you. It's not a secret. Kong Xian waved his hand to indicate to everyone that everything was fine. It's just an evolutionary chain of Scyther. Fuck, Principal Kong Hadouki. I'll give you the 9-figure deal. Kong Xian, are you drinking too much? Dang. Yinghe reminded Kong Xian from the side that as long as Kong Xian said it, the 9 figures would be gone. No, I didn't drink too much. If Scyther wants to evolve into Scizor, it needs to use metal coating. As long as you apply the metal coating to Scyther, Scyther will evolve into Scizor. Kong Xian explained to everyone how Scyther evolved into Scizor. Metal coating? What is this? I've never heard of it at all. Is there such an evolutionary item? After hearing Kong Xian's explanation, everyone was full of doubts. They have never heard of this kind of evolutionary prop. However, Kong Xian didn't want to answer this question, but just at this moment, Xia Gang, who was lying down, suddenly said something. Metal coating. Metal coating is the road car used by Onix to evolve into Steelix. Xia Gang then lay down and continued to sleep soundly. Hearing Xia Gang's voice, the hall instantly became quiet, and he stared at Xia Gang in shock. A discussion ensued. Damn it, Onix also evolved into Steelix through metal coating. Principal Kong, what on earth is metal coating? Everyone asked Kong Xian what a metal coating was. Give me money. Give me money. If you don't give me money, I'll beat you to death. Kong Xian looked up to the sky and sighed, covering his ears with his hands, and refused to answer. The plan really couldn't keep up with the changes, and the way Onix evolved was exposed. Brothers, please be sure to buy some stocks from me. Is there anyone else who wants to invest? Buy. Kang immediately took out his mobile phone and transferred 30 million to Kong Xian. He really can't afford 9 figures by himself, but he can cooperate with other people. None of the gym trainers who came here today are wealthy. A few of them can make it together. I also have 30 million to invest in individual stocks. If we have money, we can all make money together. Count me in. I'll pay 50 million. Hey, I'm sorry, I have 100 million. Zinkao, I'm adding 20 million to make up 50 million. Under the leadership of Bai Kang, basically all the trainers who came to the gym, no matter how many, bought shares. They are not stupid. This is definitely a surefire deal. It would be a fool not to participate. In the end, many gym trainers transferred a total of 2 billion alliance coins to Kong Xian. Oh, it's hard to refuse everyone's hospitality. Tell Bai Kang what the metal coating is, and you can ask Bai Kang later. Kong Xian explained to everyone. In addition to Bai Kang and the others, there are also people from the investigation bureau here. Although Bai Kang didn't say he didn't care, he must do his best to ensure that the rights and interests of the finance owner would not be damaged. Principal Kong, I have another question. How to use electric Pokemon to deal with lightning rod ability Pokemon? An electric gym trainer asked Kong Xian. He is an electric gym trainer. Ever since Pikachu's lightning rod ability was revealed, he has been tortured. There is an electric type trick that just can't be used. This is simple, and you won't be charged for it. If you want to use electric Pokemon to deal with Pokemon with lightning rod ability, then you can only use magic to defeat magic. Just use Pokemon with electric storage ability. Kong Xian explained lightning rod ability is to be attacked by electric type special moves, and the power of political moves takes over. The power storage ability allows you to recover your physical strength when attacked by electric type special moves. Either everyone should stop using electric type special moves, or Pokemon with lightning rod ability will definitely not be able to use up Pokemon with charge ability. After all, releasing moves will also consume stamina, and I also have a question. Taking advantage of Kong Xian's presence, everyone began to raise their questions. Most of them were minor problems, and Kong Xian started to explain them without charging any fees. Looking at the busy Kong Xian, Deng Yinghu smiled knowingly and continued watching Gary's live broadcast. Record Pokemon's abilities in a notebook. As the time was delayed little by little, the 2-hour live broadcast ended quickly, and Gary's live broadcast was gradually accepted by netizens. Various small presents were constantly thrown out. That's what we're going to talk about today. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. Gary closed the live broadcast and said goodbye to the audience. After 2 hours of live broadcast, in addition to the legendary Pokemon and fossil Pokemon, he finally talked about the abilities of Pokemon in the Hoenn region. There's no problem with my live broadcast today. After closing the live broadcast, Gary took a sip to moisten his throat and asked Zhao Jin, "There is nothing wrong with what I said, but it would be nice if I could communicate more with the audience." Zhao Jin gave suggestions to Gary's live broadcast. There was nothing wrong with Gary's lecture, but the game sounded monotonous, as if he was in class. Is that so? Then I'll try again tomorrow. Gary thought for a moment and said, he suddenly felt that the live broadcast was quite interesting. There is an inexplicable sense of accomplishment. Chapter 57, he is a champion. You have a pretty good drinking capacity, so many people didn't drink you down. After the banquet, Deng Yinghu drove Kong Xian and Xiaogang back to Changqing College. Deng Yinghu teased Kong Xian. I thought Kong Xian would be extremely drunk today. Who knew Kong Xian had such a good drinker? The more you drink, the more alcohol you drink. Kong Xian took out a cigarette from his pocket, lit it, and sighed. It's not that he has a large capacity for alcohol, but that this body has a large capacity for alcohol in order to raise funds for the school. I sometimes had 3 drinks a day. Over time, my drinking capacity increased. Smoke less. Too much is bad for your health. Seeing Kong Xian smoking, Deng Yinghu reminded him, "No." Kong Xian put out his cigarette and threw it out the window. "Do you really want Xiaogang to be a teacher in your school?" The vehicle drove for a while, and Deng Yinghu suddenly asked, what's wrong?" Hearing Deng Yinghu's inquiry, Kong Xian was slightly startled and asked curiously, "Such a waste? With Xiaogang's talent, being a teacher would be a waste of his talent. I want to take him into the Pokemon Alliance, where there are more resources to train him." Deng Yinghu said to Kong Xian while driving. The 18-year-old elite trainer was considered a genius in the entire Yanhuang region. For such a genius, Deng Yinghu felt that it would be too wasteful for him to be an ordinary teacher. "I want to take Xiaogang into the Pokemon Alliance to get better resources for training. Don't want to die in school. Let him become an ordinary teacher. No need. No place in this world has resources as good as Evergreen College. Xiaogang will have better development only in Evergreen College." Kong Xian refused Deng Yinghu's invitation without even thinking. In this world, he is sure that no place can compare with him in terms of resources. As long as he has enough reputation points, he can have as many as he wants, even if it's a Master Ball. Creak. Deng Yinghu stopped the car directly, thinking that Kong Xian was reluctant to let go, and said slightly angrily, "You are hurting him. You do not believe me." Kong Xian looked directly at Deng Yinghu without fear. Neither of them gave in, and they fell into an awkward silence. The only sound in the car was Xiaogang snoring. "You should ask Xiaogang for his opinion." After a moment of silence, Deng Yinghu took the lead and spoke. "No, Xiaogang, listen to me. My claim to be the walking Pokemon encyclopedia is not just talk. My understanding of Pokemon exceeds your imagination and knowledge. The best outcome is for Xiaogang to stay at Evergreen College." Kong Xian explained slowly. After hearing Kong Xian's explanation, Dang Yinghe realized that she had ignored Kong Xian's role. Kong Xian has been known as the walking Pokemon encyclopedia for some time. With his continuous live broadcasts, the title gradually began to materialize, and she had to admit that Kong Xian's understanding of Pokemon really exceeded theirs. Sorry, I lost my temper, Dang. Yinghe flipped up her hair, apologized to Kong Xian, restarted the car, and continued to take Kong Xian back. Do you really have the channel to send people to Pokemon Alliance? The car drove for a while again, and Kong Xian took the lead to break the silence, and Dang Ying asked the Pokemon Alliance members here are equivalent to civil servants in previous lives. Trainers need to sign up to take the exam themselves. After passing the exam, you are just a grassroots employee and need to climb up step by step. However, if someone recommends it, it is equivalent to an exceptional admission, and the starting point is much higher than what you can get. Well, my father works at the Bureau of Investigation headquarters and has some recommended positions. Dang. Yinghe nodded. She just wanted to use her father's recommendation quota to recommend Xiaogang to Alliance. I believe that with Xiaogang's talent, he can definitely be trained by Alliance, but Kong Xian refused. In this case, I have someone here who is more suitable. Kong Xian thought for a moment and said, who? Dang. Yinghe asked curiously. Green, too. Words came out of Kong Xian's mouth. Unlike Xiaogang, King Lu's strength has reached a bottleneck. When you reach the realm of green, you can only rely on yourself if you want to break through. Even Pryce can't provide much help. Kong Xian wants Dang Yinghe to recommend King Lu to enter the Pokemon Alliance. Contact Alliance's high-end trainers to seek your own breakthrough. Green, Dang. Yinghe glanced at Kong Xian doubtfully and asked curiously, wasn't this person's Pokemon given to him by his elders? I don't know what this person deserves to be recommended by Kong Xian. You don't think that the green scissor was given to him by his elders, do you? Seeing Dang Yinghe's expression, Kong Xian knew that Dang Yinghe had also misunderstood King Lu's strength, but this is no wonder. Dang Yinghe, not to mention this world, even the world of anime, King Lu's age and strength are a bit unbelievable. Creak, another sound of sudden breaking sounded. Dang Yinghe looked at Kong Xian with wide eyes and asked in disbelief, you mean that Pokemon is his? If others said this, Dang Yinghe would not believe it anyway, but she had to think carefully about Kong Xian's words. That's right, Scizor is a Pokemon that King Lu cultivated himself, and it's not even his fishiest Pokemon. King Lu is a genuine championship level trainer, and he is the top one. Kong Xian nodded and confirmed, this, how is this possible? How old is he? Dang. Yinghe felt that she must be crazy. Tianbian was a championship level trainer. How can this be? In the face of absolute genius, age is never a criterion for measuring strength, and King Lu is an absolute genius. Kong Xian lit another cigarette and explained Green is known as 040 Breeder's Man. In the special episode, a Pokemon can be trained to match the strength of his team in a short period of time. In his memory, King Lu seemed to have spent several days cultivating a level 70 Pokemon. You did lie to me. Although she knew that Kong Xian would not lie to herself, Dang Yinghe still didn't believe it. A teenage champion trainer? This sounds incredible. It would be great if I took you to meet him tomorrow. If King Lu really has championship level strength, you recommend him to the Pokemon Alliance. Kong Xian said to Dang Yinghe. Good, I'll go see him tomorrow. Dang Yinghe nodded and agreed. If the opponent really has championship level strength, he will recommend Green to Pokemon Alliance no matter what. Dang Yinghe started the car again and sent Kong Xian back. Not long after, the car stopped at the entrance of Evergreen College. Excuse me, please report the paper back when you get home. Kong Xian helped Xiaogang out of the car and gave instructions to Dang Yinghe. Dang Yinghe rolled her eyes at Kong Xian. She was the director of the Suhang Municipal Investigation Bureau. Who dares to rob her? However, Dang Yinghe still replied to Kong Xian, I understand, then drove away. Hey, let's spend the night together today. Looking at the drunk Xiaogang, Kong Xian shook his head helplessly and walked to his dormitory with Xiaogang. P.S. Please customize, please subscribe, I won't sleep until the moon sleeps. Chapter 58, System Robbery. After drinking so much, we are not short of money now. As soon as he opened the door to the room, Kong Xian saw that Xiaolinger and Ninetales were both awake and waiting for him in the living room. Today is different. Today I am happy. Kong Xian said as he helped Xiaogang go to his room. The wine this time was different from before. Before, I drank it as a last resort because I was asking others to do things, and today is purely because of the party. I started to play. Besides, who could not be happy after making 2 billion, with his 2 billion, plus the 1 billion that Zhao Liangyu transferred to him in the morning, plus the previous retention, he now has a huge sum of 3.9 billion. With this money, he will not feel any worries about money. In a short time after putting Xiaogang back on his bed, Kong Xian came out of the room. Don't you have anything to say to me? Seeing Kong Xian come out, Zhao Linger crossed her arms and asked Kong Xian. She couldn't understand more and more. Kong Xian, who suddenly became so knowledgeable and talented. There are also Pryce, Kinglu teacher, and Jili teacher. They all know each other. Not only are they powerful, but they also seem to have a very good relationship with Kong Xian, as if they have known each other for many years. If these friends were here, how could Evergreen College end up in this situation? Okay, I know you have some doubts in your heart, but I can't tell you now. I will tell you slowly later. Kong Xian rubbed Zhao Linger's head affectionately. She and Zhao Jin were the only ones in the whole school who were not summoned. Zhao Jin may not be able to detect anything unusual, but Zhao Linger, who has lived with him for 7 years, must be able to detect something more or less. But Kong Xian doesn't plan to tell Zhao Linger the truth now. Huh? Don't say it if you don't want to. Xiao Bei, let's go. Seeing that Kong Xian was unwilling to tell him, Zhao Linger did not continue to ask, calling Ninetales to go back to his room arrogantly. The hangover soup is in the pot. If you feel uncomfortable, serve it yourself. Before entering her room, Zhao Linger turned her head to remind Kong Xian in the past, when Kong Xian went out drinking, she would cook him some hangover soup for him to use when he came back. Today was no exception. As usual, she cooked Kong Xian sobering soup. This girl, looking at Zhao Linger closing the door, Kong Xian shook his head and went to the kitchen to serve himself a bowl of hangover soup. I did drink a little too much today. Although I wasn't drunk, my head was really confused. The system opens my attribute panel. After a bowl of hangover soup, Kong Xian felt much better lying on the sofa in the living room. I thought to myself, host, Kong Xian age 26, Pokémon, Abra props, Pokéball, Super Potion, Mage Bracelet, including Key, Alakazam Mega Evolution Stone, Psychic Crystal, Elementary Level, Task, None, School, Evergreen Pokemon Academy, Number of Teachers, 4, Students, 3, Buildings, Teaching Buildings, 2, Playground, 1, Basketball Courts, 2, Training Venues, 5, Funds, 3.903 billion, Reputation, 530,000, oh, 530,000. Gary's screen debut is not bad. Looking at his current reputation value, Kong Xian was slightly surprised. Unexpectedly, Gary gained 53 reputation points in one day. At this rate, doesn't it mean that we can draw 100 consecutive strokes tomorrow? System, use Super Crystal, primary level, for me. Looking at the Psychic Crystal he drew this morning in his system backpack, Kong Xian thought to himself, use it now when you have free time and experience the feeling of psychic. Props, Super Crystal, elementary. Description, after use, the user can obtain primary psychic. Upgrade requires 500,000 reputation points. User not 500,000 reputation points. Why don't you go and grab it? Looking at the upgrade needs of the Super Crystal, Kong Xian started yelling, I just earned more than 500,000 reputation points today, but it turns out that I need 500,000 to upgrade. No promotion, no promotion. Use Super Crystal, elementary. Kong Xian decided to experience psychic first before deciding whether to upgrade or not. As soon as he finished speaking, the Super Crystal, primary, turned into white starlight and merged into Kong Xian's body at the same time. Kong Xian could clearly feel the sudden extra power in his body. Is this psychic? Kong Xian closed his eyes tightly and used psychic to sense everything around him. Even without opening his eyes, under the influence of psychic, Kong Xian can clearly perceive everything around him. However, the range is only about the size of this living room. Beyond that, it is pitch black and nothing can be sensed. I don't know how far a basic psychic can reach. Kong Xian opened his eyes, placed his gaze on the iron spoon he had just used to drink soup, and immediately began to test it. Wake it up for me. Kong Xian releases psychic, an invisible force controlling the iron spoon. I saw the iron spoon miraculously floating under psychic's control, moving towards Kong Xian little by little. Amazing. Really amazing. Kong Xian manipulated the spoon to turn east and west for a while, as if a child had found a new toy and had a great time playing with it. Try this. Kong Xian suddenly began to increase his strength, and saw that the straight iron spoon was bent to 90 degrees under the psychic released by Kong Xian. After playing for a while, Kong Xian also roughly understood the strength of primary psychic. A beginner psychic can move some lighter items through confusion, but wants to unleash superpower-based tricks on psychic Pokémon or turn people into dolls like Sabrina with his current psychic, he still can't do it overall. Kong Xian is quite satisfied with junior psychic so far. In the future, just practice slowly and become stronger. There is no need to spend expensive reputation points to improve psychic. By the way, the system, how many reputation points are needed to assign a reasonable identity to the summoned person? Kong Xian suddenly remembered something and asked silently. He was going to push Green to Pokemon Alliance, but before that, he had to solve the problem of King Lu's identity. These people who were summoned had no information before entering this world. Pryce, Xiagang and others are doing better. It doesn't matter whether they have identity information in school or not, but not Green. If you want to push Green to Pokemon Alliance, you must have legal identity information. Simple 200,000 reputation points, seamless 500,000 reputation points. Immediately 2 option boxes appeared in front of Kong Xian, providing Kong Xian with a choice. Okay, you have to destroy my reputation today, right? Looking at the 2 choices given by the system, Kong Xian cursed again. Upgrading psychic requires 500,000 reputation points, and assigning a legal identity to the summoned character also requires 500,000 reputation points. He could see that the system was eyeing his reputation, and he must lose the 500,000 to him today. Kong Xian originally thought that if it was cheaper, he would give everyone who was summoned a legal identity, but now I can only give it to Green. I choose to be seamless. Kong Xian gritted his teeth and said to Joe, although seamless is expensive, King Lu must use this. Only if there are no loopholes in his identity can he enter Alliance's high-level management. Ding. After deducting 500,000 reputation points, identity information is being generated for King Lu. Okay, the target is formed. As soon as he finished speaking, 2 system prompts sounded in Kong Xian's mind. No one knew that in this dark night, there was an extra person quietly appearing. Period. Chapter 59, Entering Pokemon Alliance. So boring. Pryce and the others have gone to a meeting. Zhao Linger, Zhao Jin, and Gary were lying on the table in the cafeteria board. Today is the day for new teachers to report. Early in the morning, Kong Xian called everyone over for a meeting before the review by the Education Bureau is completed. Pryce and the others will have to undergo training during this period and will not have time to assist them in training. How about we go for a walk? Gary suggested yesterday. King Lu went out for a walk. He just came into this world and he wanted to go out and wander around, see the world. Okay, how about we go to Westlake? I heard that there is a trainers competition in Westlake today. Let's go and win the prizes. After hearing Gary's suggestion, Zhao Linger decisively suggested going to Westlake in Suzhou and Hangzhou. Westlake is a regional symbol. Events are often held there. Okay, it just so happens that I haven't been to Westlake for a long time. Zhao Jin on the side had no objection. Since there are no problems, let's set off now. As soon as they left, Zhao Linger took Zhao Jin and Gary to visit the Westlake in the conference room of Evergreen College. Now that everyone is here, let's get started. Kong Xian sat in the main seat of the conference room and began to preside over the first teachers meeting of Evergreen College. The teachers here today are all teachers from their East China war zone or local teachers in Suzhou and Hangzhou. There are still some people who are going through the handover procedures and will arrive after some time. First of all, the first thing our school will do is the Education Bureau review in 4 days. 730. The focus of the review is whether the teaching level of us teachers meets the standards set by the Education Bureau. So, everyone has to work harder during this period. Kong Xian looked at the teachers sitting on both sides and said slowly, "Don't worry, principal, we don't get such a high salary for nothing." Yan Yu was the first to express his stance. The salary Kong Xian offered him was much higher than the market price. If he fails the school review, it will not do him any good. That's right, principal, please relax. Other teachers also expressed their opinions to reassure Kong Xian. Kong Xian offered them such a high salary to hire them. If they couldn't even pass the review of the Education Bureau, they would have no shame in continuing to stay. With your words, I feel relieved. Next, I'll talk about our school's bonuses and benefits. This time it is expected to recruit 1,000 students, with every 40 students in one class, totaling 25 students. Each class has one class teacher, and each other teacher is responsible for the courses of 2 to 4 classes. Teachers' bonuses are linked to students' performance. For example, if a student achieves a good ranking in a certain competition, the school will distribute bonuses to each teacher based on the ranking. The teacher of any subject will take the big head, the head teacher will take the other part, and the teachers of the remaining subjects will take the small head. Kong Xian said slowly. Everyone also nodded. This approach is also the approach of most schools. They all agree with this approach. Beyond that, we have benefits that other schools in the school don't have. Any teacher who has worked in our Evergreen College for 1 year can choose a non-quasi-god Pokemon egg. After working for 3 years, you can choose a quasi-god Pokemon egg. Of course, if you don't want the Pokemon egg, you can exchange it for other items of equal value. Kong Xian continued to talk about the second benefit. In addition to students, each teacher in their school will also have permission to 6 Pokemon in the system. Of course, these Pokemon are still untradeable and can only be used by teacher himself. Kong Xian wanted to use this method to tie up the teachers in their school. After saving, the teacher I worked so hard to train was directly poached by others. Wow. As soon as Z finished speaking, there was an explosion below. It's true. After 1 year, you can choose any non-quasi-god Pokemon egg. It's probably a big deal. Our annual salary combined may not be enough for a rare Pokemon egg. Principal, can I have one of Orlu's Pokemon eggs? Yan Yi took the lead and asked that. He had always wanted a Lucario, but Lucario's rarity is no less rare than those quasi-god Pokemon. Of course, believe me, I have the strength. As he spoke, Kong Xian took out 2 incubators from under the table. There are 2 Pokemon eggs inside. It was the Orlu eggs and Beldum eggs. He exchanged. These 2 Pokemon are what Kong Xian plans to cultivate himself. Taking it out now is just enough to convince everyone that he has this strength. Damn it, this is Alalu's egg. I recognize it. Yan Yi, who had wanted a Lucario for a long time, instantly recognized the identity of one of the sperm eggs. The pattern on the egg was unmistakable to him. Yes, this one is Orlu's egg, and the other one is Beldum's Pokemon egg. As I said before, Beth, I have the strength and I can do everything I promised, but the Pokemon eggs provided by our school can only be used by you. It cannot be transferred or sold. Kong Xian nodded and assured everyone. As a leader, you must keep the promises you make to your subordinates, otherwise you will slowly lose your ability to convince your subordinates. The principal is mighty. Seeing that Kong Xian had this strength, everyone was as excited as if they had been given blood. After 1 year, you can choose a rare Pokemon egg. After 3 years, you can choose a quasi-god Pokemon egg. No one in this world can match this kind of welfare benefits. So, in the next period of time, it will be hard for everyone. Teachers in each subject will familiarize themselves with the teaching materials, and Teacher Rhonda will be trained by Teacher Rhonda. After the review by the Education Bureau is completed, I will give you a big red envelope. Kong Xian continues to inspire teachers. The principal is mighty. A burst of cheers erupted in the conference room. The meeting is dismissed. Seeing that there was nothing else to do, Kong Xian decisively dismissed a meeting. Everyone walked away one after another, each busy with his or her own business. King Lu, come with me. After the meeting, Kong Xian called out King Lu alone. What's wrong, principal? King Lu asked curiously. Your strength has now entered a bottleneck period. Kong Xian asked King Lu. Well, my current strength has indeed reached a bottleneck period. King Lu frowned and said he has been stuck in this realm for a long time and has been looking for a way to break through, but after so long, he still has no clue about the master level. Charizard has also been stuck at level 88, not even level 89. He also discussed this issue with Pryce yesterday, but Pryce's answer is that everyone is different, and Pryce's path may not be suitable for him. That's right. Now there is a chance to enter the Pokemon Alliance. I'm going to push you to the Pokemon Alliance to see if you can find a breakthrough there. See if you want to go. Kong Xian asked King Lu. Are there any strong trainers there? King Lu asked Kong Xian yesterday. He spent a day searching in Suzhou and Hangzhou, but couldn't find any rival that suited him, and Pryce's strength is too strong. He still has a big gap. Our Yanhuang region has a total population of 1.4 billion. The Number of trainers among them is at least 200 million, but Yanhuang Region Elite, including the champion and the president, there are only 30 people in total. It can be said that everyone is an elite selected through layers of processes. These people are also the ones with the highest combat effectiveness in the Yanhuang region. You can contact them after entering Pokemon Alliance. Kong Xian slowly explained to King Lu the elites and champions of Yanhuang Alliance are not master level, but they also have good strength and are the best rival of King Lu at present. Okay, I'll go. Upon hearing this, King Lu agreed without hesitation. Okay, when Dang Ronghu comes next, she wants to see your strength and recommend you to the Pokemon Alliance. This is your ID card in this world. You should keep it first. As he spoke, Kong Xian took out a piece of identity information with King Lu's profile picture on it and handed it to King Lu. This ID card was generated by the system yesterday. All the information on the ID card can be checked. Period. Chapter 60. Dang Yinghu's shock. Not long after, Dang Yinghu came to Evergreen College alone. It looks pretty good, but a little empty. Dang Yinghu looked up and down at Evergreen College. This is her first time entering this school. The school's facilities and greening are all complete, but it's a little quiet except for the occasional Pidgey or Talo who flies by. There are rarely other voices. It will be lively when the new ones are collected in a while. Kong Xian nodded and replied, now, including teachers and students, there are less than 30 people in the school. Such a big school naturally seems a bit clean, but when new students are admitted, this school will be full of youthful atmosphere again. Let's go. I'll take you to see King Lu. He's already waiting for you. Kong Xian leads the way for Dang Yinghu. After a while, the two came to an indoor training ground with no one around. King Lu was already waiting for him here. He is green. Kong Xian pointed to King Lu waiting at the training ground and introduced him to Dang Yinghu. Sure enough, he looks very similar to Gary. Looking at the waiting green, Dang Yinghu thought to herself it was indeed the same as the Gary he saw yesterday. The two of them were literally cut from the same mold. Hello, I am Dang Yinghu, the director of our Suhang Municipal Investigation Bureau. Dang Yinghu stretched out a hand to introduce herself. Hello, King Lu also stretched out a hand and said hello politely. King Lu, release your Pokemon and let the party chief see it. After seeing the two of them saying hello, Kong Xian said to King Lu, the purpose of letting Dang Yinghu come today is to let her confirm King Lu's strength. Come out, my friend. King Lu took out several Pokeballs and threw them upwards, releasing all his Pokemon accompanied by a flash of red light from the Pokeball. Charizard, Scizor, Rhyperior, Pumpkaboo, Porygon 2, Golduck, Machamp, Ninetales, and Bidyo appeared next to King Lu at one time under King Lu's training. King Lu's Pokemon always maintain a strong fighting spirit. What a powerful momentum feeling. The momentum emanating from the green Pokemon. Dang Yinghu felt extremely shocked in her heart. She could only feel this sense of oppression from the champion. These Pokemon really have the strength of a champion. Then Dang Yinghu took out her battle watch to check the levels of the green and green Pokemon one by one. Level 88. How can this be? Looking at the Charizard information displayed on the battle watch, Dang Yinghu exclaimed, a look of disbelief. The highest level Pokemon known in the world is only level 88, and this boy's Charizard is also level 88. You must know that those trainers with level 88 are all long-established champions. But how old is this boy? He must have just grown up. What kind of freak is this? With an indelible shock, Dang Yinghu continued to use the battle watch to check the remaining Pokemon levels. The more I watched, the more shocked I became. Scizor at level 78, unknown Pokemon at level 83, Pumpkaboo at level 75, unknown Pokemon at level 80, Golduck at level 79, Machamp at level 82, Ninetales at level 84, 18th level competition. Ling, the teacher under your command, King Lu, is shocked by his strength, and his reputation value will be increased by 100. At the same time, a systematic voice sounded in Kong Xian's mind. This was all trained by you. After reading the levels of the green Pokemon, Dang Yinghu asked in disbelief. The lowest level among these Pokemon is the 75 Pumpkaboo. Others are either above level 80, or infinitely close to level 80. This is definitely the strength of a top champion. Wrong. Even the top champion Pokemon may not be as high level as this young Pokemon. If these Pokemon were really trained by this boy, the potential of this young man is really terrifying. At this time, she was so shocked that she didn't know what to say. Any questions? King Lu frowned. Wondering what the problem was, he didn't think there was anything wrong with his Pokemon. His fierce rival Chi-Hong is about the same level as him. That's why he was anxious to break through the shackles before Chi-Hong came and reach the master before Chi-Hong came. How about it? I didn't lie to you. Seeing Dang Yinghu's shocked look, Kong Xian felt happy in his heart. Green is an absolute genius. No, Dang. Yinghu was stunned for a moment, then nodded heavily. What Pokemon are these two Pokemon? Dang. Yinghu asked curiously, pointing at Rhyperior and Porygon too. Except for Scizor, these Pokemon in green were not detected by the battle watch. There were two other Pokemon she didn't recognize. This one is called Rhyperior, and it is the evolved form of Rhydon. The other Pokemon, is called Porygon too, and it is currently the only one in the world. Kong Xian was silent for a moment and replied, like Scyther and Onix, the evolutionary chain of Rhydon and Electabuzz in this world has not been discovered naturally. Dang Yinghu didn't know him. Porygon 2 is the evolved form of Porygon, a product of attributes artificial Pokemon. Currently, except for the one on Kinglu, there is no other one in this world. Rhydon can actually evolve. Hearing Kong Xian's answer, Ma Dianhu is quite shocked. Scyther and Onix can evolve, and now the armored rhino can also evolve. Please give me flowers. How many Pokemon are there left to evolve? Well, if you want to know, this is the number. Kong Xian stretched out a finger and nodded. The evolutionary chain of Pokemon is still 1 billion. I don't have that much money. Dang. Yinghu curled her lips and said she can't afford 1 billion, but she can report it to Alliance and let Alliance pay. Fine. This time I plan to wait until the Education Bureau's review is completed, then take Kinglu to the battle tower to make a name for himself. Kong Xian told Dang Yinghu his plan. The Tower of Battle. This is indeed a great place. ETCU, you don't want to use Jin Fipeng as Kinglu's stepping stone, do you? Hearing Kong Xian's plan, Dang Yinghu suddenly thought of something. The battle tower is the gathering place for their trainers from the East China War Zone. Located in the Magic City region, it is very close to their Suzhou and Hangzhou cities, and only one person in the battle tower can be the green rival, that is Jin Fipeng, the master of the battle tower. At the same time, he is also the elite of their flying series in the East China Theater. That's right, Jin Fipeng is currently the most accessible elite. If Jin Fipeng can be defeated, Lu's reputation will definitely become louder. When your father recommends Kinglu, his starting point for Kinglu will be higher. Kong Xian slowly talked about his plan. As long as Kinglu defeats Jin Fipeng and proves his strength, when Dang Yinghu, his father, recommends him, Kinglu will definitely get Alliance's attention, even directly cultivate them as championship candidates. In this way, Kinglu can contact other elites and champions to achieve his own goals. I think we are crazy for wanting to use a working elite as a stepping stone. Dang Yinghu rubbed her head. This is a working elite, one of 30 selected from hundreds of millions of trainers. Now he is regarded as a stepping stone by Kong Xian. Kinglu has this strength, doesn't he? Kong Xian spread his hands and said, regardless of Kinglu young, these people may not be able to compare to him in the battles he has experienced. Well, he does have the strength. Dang Yinghu replied helplessly. The two communicated for a while before Gong Lei left. Is Jin Fipeng very strong? After Dang Yinghu left, Kinglu, who had been silent just now, asked, Jin Fipeng Flying Elite is one of the 30 people I mentioned to you before. Very strong. Kong Xian nodded. When shall we go? Upon hearing this, Kinglu's fighting spirit ignited and he couldn't wait to fight with this person. Wait until the Education Bureau review is completed. Good. 4. Chapter 61, Unknown Pokemon in West Lake. This is the most iconic place in Suzhou and Hangzhou, and that tower is the famous Lifang Pagoda. Gary, this must be your first time here. Arriving at the West Lake, Zhao Linger pointed to the spire not far from the West Lake and introduced it. Well, it's indeed my first time here. It's really good. Gary opened his arms and stood on the edge of the West Lake, facing the breeze. I heard that someone saw an unknown Pokemon in the form of a puppy here some time ago, but I don't know if it's true or not. Zhao Jin, who was standing aside, answered, unknown Pokemon in puppy form. When Gary heard this, he immediately became excited and curious about what kind of Pokemon this unknown Pokemon was. Yes, I heard that too. People from the Pokemon Alliance came here to investigate, but found nothing. Speaking of this, Zhao Linger suddenly remembered about 2 months ago, there was indeed news that an unknown Pokemon appeared here. According to the description of witnesses, it was a Pokémon in the shape of a blue puppy, but after some investigation, Pokémon Alliance found nothing over time. It was forgotten. Oh. Well, Gary suddenly felt a little disappointed when he heard that Pokémon Alliance had not found it yet. Trash, you are the most useless Pokémon in the world. At this moment, an insulting voice attracted the attention of the three people following the sound. They saw a boy about the same age as them, insulting a Magikarp. Magikarp in the lake heard the boy's insults and looked at the boy with an aggrieved face. How can you scold Magikarp like this? Pokémon are our friends, not your tools. Hearing the young man's insults, Xiaolinger had a strong sense of justice and immediately rushed up to scold the young man. I don't want this either. I read on the internet that if you want Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados, the fastest way is to anger Magikarp. I just want Magikarp to evolve. Hearing Xiaolinger's scolding, the young man lowered his head in frustration. He loves his Magikarp, but Magikarp does not evolve into Gyarados and has no fighting power at all. In a few days it will be their school's qualifying competition. If he doesn't evolve to Gyarados, he will be ranked last again this month. Not only will there be no training resources, but I will also be bullied by my classmates. So, this is all. I'm sorry, I just blamed you wrongly. After hearing the boy's explanation, Xiaolinger apologized to the boy. Rage is really the best way to get Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados, but this has a fatal flaw. At this moment, Gary's voice came to the two of them. Gary. Teacher. When the boy saw Gary, he was slightly startled, and then exclaimed, obviously recognizing Gary. Gary. Teacher, your live broadcast yesterday was so good. The boy started to get excited. Haha, is it true? I was just talking casually. Hearing the young man's compliment, Gary scratched his head in embarrassment. Gary, what are the disadvantages of doing this? Xiaolinger asked curiously. There are rumors circulating on the internet that Magikarp can evolve into Gyarados through rage. She has seen this too. Isn't it a good thing to evolve Pokémon? Why are there still flaws? After a Pokémon evolves, its temperament will change drastically. You should know this. Gary asked everyone. Some Pokémon have a docile temperament before they evolve. However, after evolution, the character will undergo drastic changes. It may not listen to the trainer's instructions, or in serious cases, it may even attack the trainer. Among them, the personality changes between Magikarp and Gyarados are the most obvious. His best friend Ash had been in this situation before. When the trainer's level cannot match the strength of the Pokémon, it is difficult for the powerful Pokémon to listen to the trainer's instructions. Well, I know this. Xiaolinger and the boy both nodded. This is basic common sense that all trainers know different Pokémon have different personalities. Now that you know it, you should know that Gyarados is a Pokémon with a strong temper. If you make Magikarp feel rage through insults and humiliation, you can evolve into Gyarados. Then, the evolved Gyarados will at least not listen to your commands, or at worst Gyarados will use skills to attack you. Gary explained slowly. He has observed many Pokémon in the wild. Among them, rage is indeed the fastest way to evolve Magikarp, but it is not the best way. If he had just debuted in the past, he would probably have used this method. But after spending time with Pokémon all these years, I have long regarded Pokémon as one of my own kind and companions. Not to mention using these verbal attacks on Pokémon, even if they are used on people, they will cause great harm. Even if it evolves to Gyarados by then, the Gyarados whose pride is affected will most likely attack the trainer himself. Then what should I do now? After hearing Gary's explanation, the young man lowered his head and became frustrated, not knowing what to do now. Communicate well with Pokémon and let Magikarp feel your heart. Gary thought for a moment and said something very philosophical. Let Pokémon feel my heart. After hearing Gary's words, the young man murmured. His eyes gradually brightened, as if he had made up his mind. The boy walked to the lake and squatted down, stroking his Magikarp affectionately with his hands. Sorry, Magikarp, I just scolded you just to get you to rage and evolve into Gyarados. Compared to you, I feel like I am a waste. When I encounter this setback, I start to take shortcuts. I swear, starting from today, we both train hard together. I believe that sooner or later, you can evolve to Gyarados. The young man stroked Magikarp's head and said affectionately, apologizing for his previous behavior. He was already prepared to be bullied by his peers. If you can't even handle this little setback, am you still a trainer, Magikarp? was seen tilting his head and looking at the boy curiously. At this moment, Magikarp suddenly undergoes a magical change. A milky white light enveloped Magikarp. This is evolution, Zhao Linger exclaimed when she saw the scene in front of her. This milky white light is the evolutionary light emitted by Magikarp. The boy looked at the evolving Magikarp stupidly, feeling a little at a loss. He didn't expect Magikarp to evolve so quickly. Waiting for the light to dissipate, a Pokémon with a fierce look on its head and 3 cyan horns appeared in the lake. It is Magikarp's advanced 1.6 version, Gyarados. Roar. Gyarados lowered his head and rubbed himself affectionately in the boy's arms. Ha ha ha, great Gyarados, you finally evolved. Seeing the evolved Gyarados, the boy excitedly hugged Gyarados' head as Magikarp finally evolved into Gyarados. Thank you, Gary teacher. If it weren't for your reminder, I might have made a big mistake. After a while, the boy stood in front of Gyarados and thanked Gary. It's okay, just don't do anything to harm Pokémon in the future. Gary waved his hand to indicate that the boy didn't need to pay attention. Yeah, I understand. I will never do anything to harm Pokémon in the future. The young man nodded heavily and said that what happened today had taught him a lesson. If Gary hadn't reminded me, I don't know what kind of big mistake I would have made. P.S. Today is also a day of tens of thousands. We'll update later. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62, Surf Competition. Ninetales uses the frozen wine to slow it down. On the edge of the West Lake, in a small competition venue, Zhao Linger was commanding his Ninetales to fight a Skarmory. A burst of cold air hit, and a little white frost appeared on Skarmory's body. Flying in mid-air, the condensation of white frost prevented Skarmory from flapping its wings, causing it to fall downwards at a rapid speed. Bang! There was a loud noise. Skarmory fell hard to the ground from mid-air, and a puff of smoke and dust suddenly rose up. Cheer up, Skarmory. Seeing this scene, Skarmory's trainer couldn't help but become anxious and cheered up as Skarmory, who thought after waiting for the smoke to dissipate, Skarmory was seen holding his body and slowly getting up from the ground. Good job, Skarmory. Use the air. Seeing Skarmory stand up again, Skarmory's trainer breathed a sigh of relief. Continue to command Skarmory in the battle, but as soon as he finished speaking, Skarmory fell to the ground again, his eyes losing the ability to fight. The winner this time is Miss Zhao Linger. Seeing that Skarmory lost combat effectiveness, he immediately announced the result of the competition. 14. Ha ha ha, Ninetales, we won. After hearing that she had won, Zhao Linger excitedly held Ninetales in her arms. Miss Zhao Linger, this is the prize for this competition. Please keep it. After the competition was accepted, the organizer awarded Zhao Linger a set of Soviet and Russian Matryoshka dolls as a reward for the winner. There are many small competitions like this in the West. Apart from her, Zhao Jin and Gary are both looking for their own games. What are these 3 people doing today? On the other side, he listened to the notification sound in his mind. Kong Xian murmured curiously, I don't know where these 3 people went to play. How about it, Gary? Zhao Jin, how many prizes did you get? 2 hours later, Zhao Linger arrived at the agreed place with a bunch of dolls and other prizes in her hands. Zhao Linger asked Gary and Zhao Jin, I won a lot in the competition, but I didn't ask for any prizes. Zhao Jin spread his hands and replied, he did win a lot of games with Dragonair, but I didn't want any trouble, so I didn't ask for any prizes. Me too. Gary echoed from the side, he didn't want the trouble and didn't ask for the prizes. TCH, you two are so boring. Hearing that neither Zhao Jin nor Gary asked for the prize, Zhao Linger curled her lips and said, go quickly, the surf competition is about to begin. I heard that the championship prize this time is mystic water. Really? Or not? This thing is not cheap. Why? Are you lying to me? Hurry up and sign up. It will be too late later. At this moment, a few people walking past and talking attracted the attention of Gary and others. The surf contest sounds very interesting. Let's go and participate. Gary became interested immediately after hearing this and suggested participating in the surf competition. You two come and join. I'll cheer you two on. Zhao Linger replied. The first requirement for participants in the surf contest is to own a Pokémon that can swim. She only has one ice type, Ninetales. Now, so she can't participate at all. There are so many people. When they arrived at the registration location, many participants had already gathered here. Are the three of you here to sign up for our surf competition? At this moment, the staff came over and asked. They both participate, but I don't. Zhao Linger pointed at Gary and Zhao Jin and said, does this lady have no water-type Pokemon? We provide water-type Pokemon rental business here, and the rental only costs 2,000 Alliance coins. The staff were also very experienced, and they immediately realized that there was no water-type Pokemon if Zhao Linger didn't participate. For three people like this, both of their companions participated, but I didn't. Most of the time it was because there were no water-type Pokemon. Hey, you actually have a rental business here, take me to see it quickly. Zhao Linger was obviously a little surprised to hear that the other party also had a Pokemon rental business. Let the staff take her to pick immediately. Of course she wanted to participate in such a fun competition. Although 2,000 Alliance coins are a bit expensive, she can afford it now that she has money. PLZ. Follow me. These are water-type Pokemon we have trained, and most of them are over level 40. Soon, the staff brought Zhao Linger to a shelf. On top is a row of Pokeballs containing water-type Pokemon. Below them is a detailed record of what Pokemon is inside each Pokeball. What is the level? Do you have any Pokemon with the ability to roam freely? Zhao Linger looked around and found nothing that she was satisfied with. He asked the staff. In rainy weather, the speed of Pokemon with this ability will be doubled. With this ability, you can gain considerable advantages by using a rain prayer. The ability to travel freely. Upon hearing Zhao Linger's inquiry, the staff was slightly startled. There was no reaction for a moment. Hey, look at my brain. You are talking about ability, which is what Principal Kong is talking about. We can't tell which one owns this. You can only judge for yourself. The staff was a little confused. If they differentiated, wouldn't everyone rent Pokemon with the ability to travel freely? Then the other Pokemon become uninterested. Then bring me this fast-swimming frog. Zhao Linger bit her finger, looked around the shelves again, and finally selected a fast-swimming frog. Fast-swimming frogs also have the ability to swim freely. Zhao Linger decided to take a gamble. Okay, please put it away. The rent and deposit total 10,000 Alliance coins. The staff removed the Pokeball from the fast-swimming frog for Zhao Linger and handed it to Zhao Linger. 2. Gentlemen, would you like to pick one as well? The Pokemon we cultivate will be more proficient in using the surf technique than other Pokemon. The staff continued to recommend their Pokemon to Gary and Zhao Jin. Thank you, we won't need it. Zhao Jin and Gary declined. The Pokemon they trained themselves were much stronger than these. There is no need to rent their Pokemon. 420. Okay then, please. Seeing Zhao Jin and Gary's refusal, the staff did not continue to force them. Mystic water can attract a lot of contestants, and all their Pokemon will eventually be rented out soon on the water of the West Lake. I saw a crowd of contestants wearing life jackets riding on their Pokemon, waiting for the competition to begin. The rules of this surf competition: first, the Pokemon used must not be out of the water for more than 2 minutes in total. Second, after one lap, you can use skills and moves to interfere with the opponent and create obstacles, but you are not allowed to attack other contestants. Once the violators are discovered, they will be eliminated immediately. Third, the first contestant to complete 10 laps around the West Lake is the winner. The winner will receive the prize of this competition, Mystic Water. I declare the game officially begins. Blastoise, use Surf. Dragonair, let's also use Surf. Fast Swimming Frog, keep up. Ha. Megalodon, let's charge. Following the referee's order, all contestants commanded their Pokemon to use Surf almost at the same time. Suddenly, the water surface of the entire West Lake was turbulent, stirring up countless waves. No one knew that at the bottom of the West Lake, a blue Pokemon was awakened. P.S. I originally wanted to update before 12 o'clock, but my arm suddenly felt numb, so I took a rest. Also explain, because the area has become larger, the area of West Lake is also 3-4 times its original size. Period. Chapter 63, The Mysterious Pokemon Appears. Number 58 fell into the water and was eliminated. Pokémon. Numbers 73 and 49 collided and both fell into the water and were eliminated. On the 30th, number 99 is eliminated. Host was riding on a Fearow, surrounding Matt and constantly explaining the surf cold. In just the first lap, many people fell into the water and were eliminated. The first lap is about to end, and we are about to enter the tense and exciting second lap. Let's see which players are ahead now. Wow, Blastoise number 77 is so fast, although number 78 Dragonair is not a water type. Surf's speed is not slower than Blastoise. Wait, what is this? Soaring in the sky? Why did it suddenly rain? Wow, has this fast swimming frog started sprinting? Why did it suddenly speed up so much? And that Golduck in the back, too. What's going on? Just after the first lap, all the remaining contestants began to show off their magical powers, releasing various means to help their Pokémon accelerate and interfere with the opponents. Gary, be careful, I'm going to attack. Zhao Jin reminded Gary the two of them are leading the way in this game. Zhao and the others were chasing behind. Come over here. Gary showed no fear and secretly encouraged Blastoise to speed up again. Let's also go to Dragonair and use the freezing beam to block his path. Zhao Jin immediately commanded Dragonair to interfere with Gary. Following Zhao Jin's command, a freezing beam of light shone on the lake in front of Blastoise, freezing the lake and preventing Blastoise from moving forward. Blastoise uses shrinking shell and water gun, rush over, looking at the frozen water in front of him. Gary, who was standing on Blastoise's back, did not panic at all and commanded Blastoise calmly. I saw Blastoise retracting its limbs into its turtle shell, and the two cannon barrels behind it sprayed out two torrents to accelerate Blastoise's forward speed. Bang! Bang bang! Blastoise is so powerful that it smashes all the ice blocks in front of it. Oh my god, shrink shell and water gun can still be used like this. Gary's operation shocked everyone. It's our turn. Blastoise, use Whirlpool attack. After breaking through the obstacle, Gary began to direct Blastoise to counterattack and stabilize his position. Kami, the voice that accompanied Gary just fell. A whirlpool appears in the lake. Watch out Dragonair. Seeing the sudden appearance of the vortex, Zhao Jin quickly reminded Dragonair. I saw Dragonair jump splash directly across the whirlpool. Zhao Jin dodged, but the people behind him were unlucky. Some who did not react were drawn into the whirlpool. Contestant number 2 fell into the water and was eliminated. Contestant number 17 fell into the water and was eliminated. Contestant number 69 fell into the water and was eliminated. A whirlpool of Blastoise eliminated thousands of participants in an instant. It takes a while, but it's not over yet. Blastoise, use Freeze Ray in front of us. Looking at Zhao Jin, who was catching up, Gary commanded Blastoise to start taking action again. Kami, after receiving Gary's instructions, Blastoise turned around, straightened his head, and sprayed extremely cold freezing light towards the lake in front. Soon a layer of ice crystals appeared on the lake in front. What's going on? Contestant number 77 used the freezing beam in front of him. Is he trying to set up obstacles for himself? Gary's operation once again left people stunned. HMPH, Blastoise jump up and use Hydro Pump. Gary smiled slightly and directed Blastoise to jump up. Kami, Blastoise jumped onto the ice and turned his head over again, facing behind. Powerful end streams are ejected from the two barrels. With a powerful propulsion capability brought by the Hydro Pump, Blastoise was seen gliding rapidly, leaving everyone hundreds of meters behind in an instant. Contestant number 77 is simply Kristoff's unconventional idea. The purpose of using the freezing ray is not to set up obstacles for himself, but to assist the smoothness of the ice surface, reduce the friction of Blastoise, and speed up Blastoise. Seeing Gary's operation, host immediately explained. Other contestants followed suit, but their Pokémon didn't have Blastoise's powerful propulsion capabilities, far less effective than Blastoise. Ha ha ha, good job, Blastoise. Looking at the people who were thrown away by him, Gary praised Blastoise. Not surprisingly, he was the winner of this competition. However, if nothing unexpected happens, something unexpected will happen. Just when Gary was proud, a Pokémon in the form of a unicorn with a red mane suddenly emerged from the water and ran side by side with Blastoise on the lake at the same time. 10 messages from the heart sounded in Gary's mind. Let's show off. What kind of Pokémon is this? I've never added it. Yeah, it looks so cool. This Pokémon can't be the puppy Pokémon that was circulated before. This is obviously in the form of a pony, but I don't know who could be so blind as to say it's a puppy. The sudden appearance of an unknown Pokémon instantly disrupted the surf competition. This is Keldea. Seeing the Pokémon next to him, Gary was slightly startled. and then exclaimed the legendary sacred sword Pokemon Keldea actually appeared here. Doesn't this mean that the previously discovered unknown Pokemon is Keldea? Let's decide the winner. At this moment, a figure from the soul sounded. Keldea ran side by side with Blastoise on the lake while delivering a message to Gary. Okay, let's have a showdown. Gary agreed without hesitation. As soon as Gary finished speaking, he saw a torrent of water suddenly spurting out from Keldea's hooves moving at high speed on the lake. The speed is so fast that only an afterimage can be seen. What a speed! Blastoise, we can't lose. Use the most powerful hydro pump and speed up. Seeing Keldea turned into an afterimage, Gary was aroused to be competitive. Immediately command Blastoise to rush forward. Two Pokemon started a chase in the West Lake. What a fast speed! What a fast speed! What does this mysterious Pokemon want to do? Is it going to compete with our player number 77? Watching the two sides chasing each other on the lake, host explained in mid-air the other players took back their Pokemon and swam to the shore, which hindered their competition. What kind of Pokemon is this? Seeing the mysterious Pokemon chasing each other in the lake and Gary's Blastoise, Xiaolinger immediately took a video and sent it to Kong Xian, asking what kind of Pokemon it was. Ling, your student, Gary, was shocked, and his reputation will be increased by 1. Ling, your student, Gary, was shocked, and his reputation value was increased by 1. Ling, your student Gary was shocked, and his reputation value was increased by 3. At the same time, systematic voices continued to sound in Kong Xian's mind. What are these three people doing? Why are there so many system prompts? Hearing the constant system notifications in his mind, Kong Xian, who was practicing psychic, had no intention of practicing. Xian was curious as to what the three of them were doing. The sound frequency of this system is no worse than during the live broadcast. At this moment, Xiaolinger sent him a video. Kong clicked on the video to view it and was immediately stunned. Something big happened. After seeing the video, Kong Xian immediately stood up and broke into the conference room. King Lu, come with me quickly. Chapter 64, just a relatively rare Pokemon. What happened to the principal? King Lu, who was sitting on Bidio with Kong Xian, asked curiously. It's Keldea. Keldea appeared in West Lake, Gary, and are having a surf competition. Kong Xian explained to King Lu that the video Xiaolinger sent him just now was the video of Gary and Keldea doing surf. Now the video of the match between Gary and Keldea has been ranked number 1 on the hot search list by netizens. In just a few minutes it has become a hotly debated topic across the country. Many people who watched Gary's live broadcast recognized Gary. Some people who didn't know him also got to know Gary in this way. Now Kong Xian finally knew why the system prompts in his mind kept ringing. The only good news now is that no one knows that this mysterious Pokemon is a legendary Pokemon except them. What? Keldea. King Lu was also a little shocked after hearing this. He didn't expect that the legendary Pokemon would appear here, so we have to get to West Lake as soon as possible. Turn left in front of Bidio, then go straight, and you will see a mega-sized lake, which is the West Lake. Kong Xian nodded and said, he was worried that something might happen if he went late. Bidio flapped its wings and headed in the direction pointed by Kong Xian. After a while, the two of them arrived at Sky in West Lake. At this time, the entire area around West Lake has been cordoned off. There is an investigator guarding every section of the journey. All tourists were driven outside the cordon. Kong Xian saw a lot of acquaintances here. 243. There is no one in the lake except Gary and Keldea who are competing. Trainers in the Sky, come down quickly. This place is temporarily classified as a no-fly zone. Trainers in the Sky, come down quickly. This place is temporarily classified as a no-fly zone. Trainers in the Sky, come down quickly. This place is temporarily classified as a no-fly zone. Just as the green Bidio stepped into the West Lake Sky, Xiu shouted with a loudspeaker. Last time, an unknown Pokemon was revealed in West Lake, and the Pokemon Alliance investigated here to no avail. Unexpectedly, it appeared again today. It turns out that this is indeed a brand new Pokemon for the Yanhuang region and even the entire world. A brand new Pokemon is no small matter. After getting the news, their investigation bureau transferred everyone over. Bidio, let's go down. King Lu immediately directed Bidio to fly downwards. It's Principal Kong. Here comes Principal Kong. I wonder if Principal Kong knows what this Pokemon is. Zhao Jin, let's go over there. Mr. Kong is here. Kong Xian and King Lu's figures came into everyone's eyes. King Lu directed Bidio to land near Dang Yinghua. Kong Xian, hello, Principal Kong, and Teacher Kinglov. Seeing Kong Xian and King Lu coming, Zhao Linger brought Zhao Jin to them. Are you two okay? Kong Xian asked the two of them concernedly. Well, it's okay. When this Pokemon came out, we quit the competition. Zhao Linger shook her head and said, haha, Befk, the people in your school may cause trouble at this moment. Dang Yingho stepped forward to greet Kong Xian and joked how long had she been away from their school. The students of their school caused such a big thing again nowadays. People from their school dominate the hot searches every day. You can't blame them for this. Kong Xian smiled and said, who would have thought that Keldea would appear here, with so many people here? You all attach great importance to this Pokemon. Kong Xian asked in a low voice, wanting to find out Alliance's attitude towards Keldea. Pokemon are treasures of nature, and Alliance attaches great importance to every new Pokemon that appears. Dang Yinghu replied, this is why Professor Zhang Yang traveled thousands of miles to Antarctica to investigate the appearance of an unknown bird Pokemon after returning from Evergreen Academy. She had already reported Super Armor Crazy Star and the Pokemon named Porygon 2 to Alliance. I believe it won't be long before Alliance will contact Kong Xian by from him Raiden's evolution and information on Porygon 2, so that's it. Kong Xian nodded, not to mention them. It's the anime world or the special world, and a brand new Pokemon appears, it will also attract the attention of Pokemon Alliance. What about you? Aren't you known as the walking Pokemon encyclopedia? Do you know what this is? Dang. Yinghu brushed her hair behind her ears, blinked her beautiful eyes and asked Kong Xian, I've said it all. As long as it's about Pokemon, there's nothing I don't know. This Pokemon is called Keldea, and its attribute is a water type and fighting type Pokemon. Ability is the Heart of Justice. Species Strength 580. It is indeed a relatively rare Pokemon. Kong Xian slowly introduced Keldea's information to Dang Yinghu, except for describing the legendary Sacred Sword as a relatively rare Pokemon. There is no other secret regardless of Keldea's status as a Sacred Sword warrior. Keldea is indeed a relatively rare Pokemon in the 10th century. You can't be making this up to fool me, right? Dang Yinghu looked at Kong Xian with some suspicion. This Pokemon was discovered for the first time. How did Kong Xian know about it? Why did I lie to you? This is you. I tell you, if anyone else had no money I wouldn't say a word. Kong rolled his eyes at Dang Yinghu. Except for his identity as a Sacred Sword, he told her all the information about Keldea. Turns out she still didn't believe it. Sure enough, women don't believe men when they tell the truth. They just like to listen to false lies. Okay, I was wrong. I believe you. Seeing Kong Xian's appearance, Dang Yinghu said a little charmingly, cut. Zhao Linger on the side curled her lips unhappily when she saw Dang Yinghu charging Kong Xian charm. By the way, what are you going to do with Keldea? Catch and study, or protect? Kong Xian asked, looking at Keldea, who is still competing with Gary in the lake. There is only one in the world now, so we must protect it. Dang Yinghu spread her hands and said, this Pokemon has been discovered for the first time in the world, and its rarity can be imagined. They definitely want to protect it now. Just wait for the game between Gary and this Pokemon to end. I'm afraid it's not that easy to protect it. Kong Xian nodded and continued to ask, well, it is indeed difficult, but no matter how difficult it is, we must protect it. Dang. Yinghu's face showed a hint of exhaustion, and she nodded heavily. The more rare a Pokemon is, the higher its price will be in the market. Even their Yanhuang region prohibits the trade of these Pokemon. However, other overseas regions will also release large bounties to attract countless Pokemon hunters to catch them. This undoubtedly brings a lot of trouble to their Pokemon. It can be said that Pokemon Alliance is fighting against these Pokemon hunters all the time. It's over, Blastoise is gone. Just then, there was a shout from the crowd. Blastoise was seen floating on the lake, with her eyes looking like mosquito coils and losing her fighting ability. It was obvious that Blastoise was exhausted. With Blastoise's energy exhausted, Keldea stayed by Gary's side. I won, and I'm looking forward to the next showdown with you. A voice from Keldea sounded in Gary's heart again. I won. A voice from Keldea sounded in Gary's heart again. After saying that, Keldea dived into the lake again and disappeared in front of everyone. I will work hard. Looking at Keldea's figure, Gary shouted towards Keldea, Bideo, go and fish him out. Seeing Keldea diving into the water, King Lu commanded his eagle to fish Gary out of the lake. Compare, Bideo. flapped its huge wings and flew towards soaring in the sky. It's Brother Kinglu's competition. Brother Kinglu and the principal are here. Hearing the loud call of the eagle in soaring in the sky, Gary instantly recognized it as a green eagle. Soon Dio caught Gary and brought him to Kong Xian. Principal, Big Brother Green. Gary said hello to Kong Xian and Kinglu in turn. Well, is Gary okay? Kong Xian nodded and asked Gary, it's okay, I just need something. Gary shook his head and said his Blastoise is so exhausted from using his moves that he has no physical strength left. He was on Blastoise's back, being carried by Blastoise with agility, which was also uncomfortable. That's fine, director of the party. If there is nothing else, we will be divorced. Seeing that everyone was here, Kong Xian said goodbye to Dang Yinghu and prepared to return to school. Keldea is protected by the Pokemon Alliance, so there shouldn't be any problems. In addition, Keldea does not have much special abilities. In his eyes, it is just a relatively rare Pokemon. Kong Xian did not move his compassion to capture it. If it were a fantasy Pokemon like Celebi, it would have the ability to travel through time. Kong Xian can prevent others from using this power and capture Celebi, but Keldea, it would be better to let him be free. Chapter 65, The Secrets of the Legendary Pokemon. Your Excellency, the Principal, you haven't encountered any trouble. Not long after Kong Xian returned to Evergreen Academy, he happened to meet Pryce taking his Pokemon for a walk. Pryce, let me help you. Seeing Pryce, Xiaolinger immediately ran over to help Pryce push the wheelchair. Meted a Keldea, no trouble. Kong Xian nodded and said, Keldea just wanted to compete with Gary, and there was no malicious intention. People in this world don't know that Keldea is a legendary Pokemon, which saves them a lot of trouble. The legendary Pokemon, Pryce, was slightly startled when he heard it was Keldea, and then he sighed. He has been dealing with legendary Pokemon his whole life. Unexpectedly, when I came to this world, I would encounter legendary Pokemon. Kong Xian, Pryce, what is that legendary Pokemon? Xiaolinger asked curiously. Zhao Jin on the side also pricked up his ears and listened curiously. Didn't Principal Kong say before that Keldea is just a relatively rare Pokemon? Why did it become a legendary Pokemon when it entered Pryce's mouth? What exactly is this legendary Pokemon? It doesn't hurt to tell you. You will know sooner or later anyway, but until you don't have the strength to become a champion, it's best not to tell anyone. Kong Xian hesitated for a moment and said to the two of them, in addition to the Pokemon we have seen in this world, there are also some Pokemon with magical powers. They can reverse time, stop space, and make oceans swallow continents. Pokemon with these abilities are called legendary Pokemon, and Keldea is one of the sacred sword warriors. The horn on his head can turn into a sharp sword and cut off everything. Kong Xian said slowly. Keldea, the mysterious bird Pokemon from Antarctica, appeared today. There is no proof that legendary Pokemon exist in this world, and it is difficult not to guarantee that there are no other legendary Pokemon in this world, making time reverse, space stopping, and the ocean swallowing the continent. Does this world really have Pokemon like this? After hearing this, Zhao Jin was a little unbelievable. With these abilities, one can already call them gods. Do they really exist? Of course, Pryce, Kinglu and Erica have all played against them. Kong Xian nodded. Pryce, Green Teacher, Erica Teacher and the others, Zhao Jin and Xiaolinger looked back and forth at Kinglu and Pryce with wide eyes as if they had heard some fantasy. Not only do these Pokemon exist, but Pryce and the others have also fought against them. Kinglu and Pryce nodded, acquiescing. Although Keldea is a legendary Pokemon, its abilities are not that strong. The reason why I said it was a relatively rare Pokemon in Westlake was entirely to protect it. Don't spread this matter, otherwise it will bring endless trouble to Keldea. Legendary Pokemon battles are not so easy to intervene in. Kong Xian reminded Xiaolinger and Zhao Jin. Keldea's ability is not strong, but there is no guarantee that this will not lead to other legendary Pokemon. The principal's right. You'd better not come into contact with a legendary Pokemon. Pryce, who has been exposed to legendary Pokemon all his life, has the most say and reminds them. It's the principal. Pryce, I know, Zhao Jin solemnly assured Pryce and Kong Xian. He also realized the seriousness of the matter, otherwise the principal and Pryce would not have reminded him. At the same time, he would never tell his family about this under any circumstances. If they were involved in such a war, it would be a disaster for the Zhao family. It's good that you know, Principal, this is the Pokemon you gave to me before. It has been taken care of by breeder. Pryce took out a Pokeball from his wheelchair and handed it to Kong Xian. It was Abra whom Kong Xian asked him to train before. After these days of breeder, the level of this Abra has been improved. It's enough for the principal to protect himself. If he continues to train him, he may not listen to the principal's orders. Great, please Pryce. Kong Xian quickly took Abra's Pokeball and thanked Pryce. Pryce has finally trained his Abra and will no longer need to bring a bodyguard when he goes out. Come out, Abra. After taking over Abra's Pokemon, Kong Xian immediately released Abra with the red light of the Pokeball flashing. A Pokemon with yellow skin, brown leather-like armor from neck to chest appeared next to Kong Xian. It's Kong Xian's Abra, who had just emerged from the Pokeball, opened his fishy eyes in a daze, looked around, then closed his eyes and fell asleep. The bubbles on the nose keep getting bigger as Abra breathes. Minimize level 60. What? A high level. Zhao Jin on the side saw Kong Xian's Abra and immediately used his battle watch to check it. I saw it displayed above Pokemon. Abra attribute, super power system, gender, male, energy level, level 60. He had seen level 60 Alakazam many times, but this was the first time he had seen level 60 Abra, level 60. Hearing Zhao Jin's voice, Zhao Linger exclaimed if he remembered correctly. She remembered that Kong Xian's Abra was only level 20 before, not even as good as her. Unexpectedly, within a few days in Pryce's hands, the Pokemon's level soared to level 60. Zhao Linger was curious about how Pryce was trained, and the level of Pokemon soared so fast. Haha, when it comes to Pokemon breeder, I'm far behind compared to Kinglu. Gu Liu said modestly. If Kinglu was given the same time, the principal's Abra could be trained by Kinglu to at least level 65. Zhao Jin and Zhao Linger didn't know what to say after hearing this. Each of these two people is more perverted than the other. Still as sleepy as before, looking at the sleeping Abra, Kong Xian shook his head helplessly, and then used the system to check Abra's information. Pokemon, Abra attribute, super power system ability, magic protection, please give me flowers. Strength, elite level, gender, male, potential, champion, moves, teleport, confusion, phantom light, disable, calm mind, barrier. Elite level, it seems to be level 6000. Looking at Abra's message, Kong Xian secretly thought the information viewed by the system is much more detailed than that viewed by the battle watch. Not only can you check the Pokemon's ability, but you can also check what moves the Pokemon knows. During the time she was trained by Pryce, Abra learned many super-type moves. Abra starts evolving, Kong Xian said while stroking Abra, who is still in rest. Level 60 Abra should have evolved a long time ago, but it hasn't evolved yet. I'm afraid it's Pryce's fault. People like Pryce don't care whether their Pokemon evolves or not, but Kong Xian still has self-awareness. Choose to evolve your Pokemon to maximize its strength. Besides, he also drew the Alakazam Mega Evolution Stone and the Mage Bracelet before. Without evolution, these things will be wasted. Zero. As soon as Kong Xian finished speaking, Abra began to burst out with a light of evolution. Waiting for the light to dissipate, a Pokemon with a red 5-pointed star pattern on its forehead, a fox-like face, a narrow muzzle, and 2 tufts of hair like a beard appeared, holding a silver spoon in its right hand. By Kong Xian's side, it's Abra's evolved Yongjira, but evolution doesn't end there. The light of evolution burst out from Yongjira's body again. Continuous evolution. This time even Gary couldn't help but exclaim. Continuous evolution is very rare. Waiting for the light of evolution to dissipate, an Alakazam appeared next to Kong Xian. Compared to Abra, Alakazam is indeed much stronger, but at the same time, Alakazam is not as cute as Abra. Now Kong Xian finally understood why Sabrina wanted Alakazam to remain in the form of Abra. Anyone holding an Alakazam in their arms would feel weird. With this Alakazam, I should have the ability to protect myself. Looking at the Alakazam in front of him, Kong Xian thought to himself, when he hatches Lucario and Beldum and then trains them, he will also be a powerful Pokemon trainer. By the way, Pryce, do you know how to restore Alakazam to Abra's form? Kong Xian asked Pryce. It would be great if his Alakazam could be like Sabrina, allowing Alakazam to evolve and degenerate freely. Can a Pokemon degenerate after evolving? I don't know this method. After Pryce heard this, he was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that someone could control the evolution and degeneration of Pokemon. Oh, well, seeing that Pryce didn't know, Kong Xian didn't continue to ask. I can only wait until I summon Sabrina later and ask Sabrina for advice. P.S. Some people have proposed communication evolution. Let me explain here. Communication evolution is not a necessary condition for Pokemon evolution. Ash encountered Wild Jengar during his travels. My understanding is that communication accelerates their evolution. It was finally updated at 12 o'clock. Today is another day with tens of thousands of daily votes. Please give me 5 votes a month. Chapter 66, Respect for the Strong. System upgrade my psychic. Kong Xian thought silently in his heart, Ling, you have consumed 500,000 reputation points, and the remaining reputation value is 720,000. The words in my mind just finished. Kong Xian only felt that the psychic in him was increasing crazily. He raised his psychic to the intermediate level before stopping after returning from Westlake the day before yesterday. The video of Gary and Kildea's game went viral on the internet. Gary's reputation has been spread like never before, plus he did the live broadcast instead of Kong Shu in these 2 days. Kong Xian gained a lot of reputation points. It is precisely because of these reputation points that Kong Xian is willing to spend 500,000 reputation points to upgrade his psychic level. Is this intermediate psychic, what? A powerful force. Carefully feel the psychic filing your body. Kong Xian murmured, compared with before, the intermediate psychic ability is 10 times that of the primary psychic. Kong Xian releases his psychic and controls an iron spoon under the influence of psychic. The iron twists and turns turned into an iron rose. This kind of power is absolutely impossible for a junior psychic to achieve, including confusion. It has also become a lot stronger and can now move some heavier items or Pokemon. With the psychic I have now, combined with Alakazam, as long as the opponent is not a master, there should be no problem in self-protection. The improvement of psychic has once again strengthened Kong Xian's self-protection ability. The system opens my attribute panel. After trying the upgraded psychic, Kong Xian muttered silently and opened the system's attribute panel. Host, Kong Xian, age 26, Pokemon, Alakazam, Orlu, not hatched, Beldum, not hatched, Props, Pokeball, Super Potion, Mage Bracelet, including Key, Alakazam Mega Evolution Stone Factory Task, none, School, Evergreen Pokemon Academy, number of teachers, 27, on campus, students, 3, buildings, teaching buildings, 2, playground, 1, basketball courts, 2, training venues, 5, funds, 3.903 billion. Reputation, 730,000. There are still 730,000 reputation points. After the review is over, we can almost do another 100 rounds. Looking at his attribute panel, Tian Xian fell asleep with satisfaction. Tomorrow is the day when the Education Bureau will review their Evergreen Pokemon Academy. After waiting for so long, he finally waited for this day. Tomorrow is the review of Evergreen College. As long as Evergreen College fails the review, I will pay you every cent of the remaining 20 million Alliance coins. On the other side, in a luxurious villa, Zhuang Wenwen was calling a stranger with a gloomy face. Don't worry, Principal Zhuang. Don't worry about our Dark Association's affairs. The Evergreen Pokemon Academy will not pass the review. A hoarse voice came from the phone, which reassured Zhuang Wenwen. I believe in the abilities of your Dark Association. After saying that, Wenwen hung up the phone. Dark Association, the mortal enemy of Pokemon Alliance. Rumor has it that 300 years ago, when Pokemon arrived, it was created by a group of failed coups. All its members are thugs, hiding all over the country. They snatch other people's Pokemon and poach rare Pokemon for sale. As long as they have money, even if they are asked to assassinate a serving elite, they will dare to do it. It is an organization that the Pokemon Alliance has dealt an important blow to. The battle between the Pokemon Alliance and the Dark Association has been going on for 300 years. The battle continues to this day. Kong Xian, if the censor dies in your school, I wonder what else you can do. Zhuang Wenwen held the phone tightly. His face was so gloomy that he could shed tears, and he looked in the direction of Evergreen College with resentful eyes. From the beginning to now, in order to obtain Evergreen Academy, including the 50 million Alliance coins spent today, he has spent more than 100 million. Among them, 30 million were rewarded to Kong Xian this time. In order to make Evergreen College fail the review, he issued a commission to the Dark Association at any cost. Early the next morning, all teachers from Evergreen College were called to the conference room by Kong Xian for the final mobilization. Today is the most important day for their Evergreen Pokemon Academy. Whether Evergreen College can participate in this recruitment depends on today. I've said everything that needs to be said. I don't want to stress the rest. In a word, As long as the review passes today, I will give everyone a big red envelope. In the conference room, Kong Xian inspired many teachers. The principal is mighty. Don't worry, principal, I will work hard for this big red envelope. If it doesn't pass the review today, I will write the character upside down. Hearing about the red envelopes, many teachers were inspired to fight and cheered up. It's almost time now, let's pick them up at the door. Kong Xian looked at his watch and saw that there were only 20 minutes left before the time they agreed. From here, they headed to the school gate. Once they arrived, they waited for a while and the other party was almost there. Kong Xian led everyone to the school gate to wait for the Education Bureau reviewers. Pryce and King Lu don't have to participate, but I have to participate. I don't care if you want to increase my salary. On the way to the school gate, Erica and Kong Xian walked side by side, and some charm wanted Kong Xian to give her a salary increase. 5 million a month is not enough for her consumption. The salary Kong Xian paid her now only leaves more than $500,000. She didn't even know how the 500,000 would survive until next month. I know you have worked hard, and I will give you 1 million more lines every month from now on. Kong Xian gave Erica a blank look, and even if Li didn't say anything, he was going to give Erica a salary increase. Erica is busy alone these days, and she does work much harder than others, so she deserves a salary increase. As for not allowing Pryce and King Lu to participate in this reception, it is entirely because one of them is a master trainer and the other is a trainer with top championship strength. Asking them to receive others is an insult to these powerful trainers. Kong Xian's 1.8 actions also show respect for the strong. Therefore, Kong Xian did not let Pryce and King Lu participate in this recruitment, and Erica elite strength makes it unnecessary to participate. But if Erica doesn't participate, there will be no one around him. He's a rookie with little experience. If he messes up, his success will be in vain. Huh? That's pretty much it. Hearing Kong Xian's agreement, Erica snorted coldly and walked forward with brisk steps. As time passed, a black official car parked at the entrance of Evergreen College. Then 4 men came out of the car. Notify them. The other party is here, and the plan begins. The moment the examiner sent by the Education Bureau came out of the car in a high-rise building not far away, a man was observing Evergreen College using a high-powered telescope. Period. Chapter 67, The Scary Old Man. Director Feng, you are here in person. Seeing the censor headed by him, Kong Xian was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, Feng Yi, the director of the Education Bureau, came in person. Ha. Principal Kong, I have admired your name for a long time. In addition to the review this time, I also have something to discuss with Principal Kong. Feng Yi smiled and led his team to meet Kong Xian. Oh, then let's talk as we walk. Erica, please take some examiner's teacher to visit our school. Director Feng and I have something to discuss. Kong Xian told Erica. Yes, Principal. Guys, please come with me. Erica nodded and smiled, guiding several investigators. Director Feng, let's talk while we walk. After Erica left, Kong Xian and Feng Yi walked to the other side. Evergreen Pokémon Academy. It doesn't even have a doorman. It's really rubbish. Not long after everyone left, 2 men and a woman wearing masks came to the gate of Evergreen College. Seeing that there was no one at the entrance of Evergreen College, he said disdainfully this was the first time he saw such a school without even a guard. Let's go in. Let's take Kong Xian back with us. The leading female trainer pulled on her mask and walked toward the Evergreen Pokémon Academy. This time, in addition to Zhuang Wenwan's commission, their leader also gave them another task: just bring back Kong Xian, the self-proclaimed walking Pokémon encyclopedia. Which way are we going now? 14. The man asked the woman. They walked around Viridian College for a while, but the school was empty. After walking for a long time, they didn't find anyone. Just then a girl's voice came into my ears. What happened next, Pryce? Did you succeed? Following the sound, they saw a 15 or 16-year-old girl pushing an old man towards them. The old man also held a Swinub in his arms. These 2 people are none other than Xiaolinger and Pryce. After learning that Pryce had fought against legendary Pokémon, Xiaolinger became very curious about these. She went to Kong Xian to ask, but Kong Xian was unwilling to tell her more about these things. She had no choice but to pester Pryce and ask Pryce to tell her what happened to him before. Pryce told her that when he was young, Pryce lost his 2 beloved Lapras due to an accident. In order to save them, Pryce decided to capture Celebi, who has the power to travel through time, and return to the past. Along the way, He did many wrong things to save Lapras. Later, I successfully returned to the past, but I also got lost in the cracks of time. In the cracks of time, I wandered in the whirlpool of the past and the future like a drifting duckweed. I saw a time when there were no Pokeballs, a time when legendary Pokemon existed. Hearing Xiaolinger's inquiry, Pryce fell into memories. Hey, old man, where is Mr. Kong? At this moment, a voice interrupted Gu Liu's memories. Who are you, and what's wrong with me? Seeing two people in strange costumes, Xiaolinger felt wary and questioned them. These two men definitely did not look like investigators from the Bureau of Investigation. She is Xiaolinger, a relative of Kong Xian. Catch her. When the leading woman saw Xiaolinger, she immediately recognized Xiaolinger's identity and directed the man to capture Xiaolinger in order to throw Kong Xian. Turns out to be Kong Xian's relative. It's really hard to find anything without wearing iron shoes. It takes no effort to get here. Come out, Nura, Crobat. Upon hearing the woman's command, the man immediately released his Pokemon. Pryce, they are here to trouble Kong Xian. Nula and Crobat are seen freed by the men. Xiaolinger didn't panic at all and stood behind Gu Liu. There is probably no safer place in the world than behind Pryce. Don't worry, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt the principal. Gu Liu stroked Swinub's hair in his arms, narrowed his eyes slightly, and stared at him. You, a crippled old man, still want to stop me? Seeing the old man in the wheelchair trying to stop him, the man smiled contemptuously. He is an elite trainer, but a crippled old man wants to stop him. Go to hell, old man. Nura uses Fury Swipes, Crobat uses Leech Life. The man immediately directed Nula and Crobat to attack Pryce. They already have a lot of lives on their hands, and they don't mind one more old man. Nula, puff, puff. After receiving the man's instructions, Naira and Crobat attacked Gu Liu in different directions. However, Gu Liu did not give any instructions, but just stroked Swinub's hair lightly. Ha, old man, are you scared out of your wits? Seeing that Gu Liu had no reaction, the man laughed wildly. Thinking that Gu Liu had been frightened, the man seemed to have seen the scene of the crippled old man being torn into pieces by Nula. etc. Something's wrong. This look is not panic at all. It's like as if he has everything under control. Even the girl next to him has this look. Stop it. The keen woman immediately discovered that something was wrong. If only one person pretended to be calm, she could understand that he was pretending, but these two people are so calm, which means they are not afraid of themselves at all. The woman immediately called her companions to stop, waiting to find out the old man's strength, but it's too late. I saw a cold wind passing by. Nura and Crobat's movements came to an abrupt halt. I saw layers of ice crystals spreading across Nura and Crobat's bodies at lightning speed. In just a short breath, two ice sculptures appeared in front of everyone. How is this possible? Seeing the scene in front of him, the man's eyes were full of fear and disbelief. He had no idea what had just happened. How Naira and Crobat suddenly turned into ice sculptures. 9, level 98. How can this be? On the other side, when the woman used her battle watch to check the information about Swinub and Gu Liu's arms, a dazzling number 98 came into her eyes. How can a Swinub have such a level? The woman's eyes were also full of fear and shock, but what he fears is Swinub's level, not to mention level 98. He has never seen even level 90. Has it been discovered? Seeing the woman's reaction, Pryce stroked Swinub in his arms. The technological products in this world are really amazing. It's easy to see what Pokemon is thinking. Escape. We must escape. At this time, this was the only thought in the woman's mind. She was certain that there was absolutely nothing wrong with the battle watch. His companion is also an elite trainer, but in the opponent's hands, you don't even know how to lose facing such a person. She had no chance of winning. Come out, Rapidash. No. When the woman was about to release her Pokemon and escape, she discovered to her horror that her body could no longer move. I don't know when. Her body was frozen. Ice crystals were slowly spreading from beneath her feet, and her companion had turned into an ice sculpture at some point. No. In the end, the woman was unwilling and was frozen into an ice sculpture. So awesome. When will I be like Pryce? Looking at the 4 ice sculptures in front of him, Xiaolinger said with envy. Pryce's strength is still so unfathomable. It won't be long. Let's go. I'll continue to tell you what happens next. Pryce said with a smile, returning to his previous amiable appearance. He has no children, and he almost loves Zhao Linger as his own granddaughter. Okay, what happened next? Zhao Linger pushed Pryce and continued walking. Only 4 ice sculptures were left exposed to the sun. Ding. The teacher under your command, Pryce, is frightening in strength, and the reputation value will be increased by 1,000. Ding. The teacher under your command, Pryce, is frightening in strength, and his reputation value will be increased by 1,000 at the same time. 2 system prompts sounded in Kong Xian's mind. Hearing the voice in his head, Kong Xian was slightly startled. He didn't know who touched Pryce's brow. Principal Kong, I don't know what I just proposed. At this moment, Feng Yi's voice interrupted Kong Xian's thinking. No problem, of course there is no problem. It is a good thing to contribute to the Pokemon education industry in our region, but there is one thing. The author must fill in my famous official. Hearing Feng Yi's voice and seeing the new man come to his senses, he quickly replied. The purpose of Feng Yi coming to him this time was to ask Kong Xian to compile Pokemon's abilities into a book included in the required courses for Pokemon Academy trainers. This exam will also be added to the junior trainer exam in the future. These are the meanings of the Education Bureau headquarters. I have no opinion on this. Kong Xian, his current name is only circulated among the trainers. The Yanhuang region has a population of 1.4 billion, but only 200 million trainers. There are still 800 million people who don't know, or who know but don't know Kong Xian. If only his books could be included in the Pokemon Academy's required curriculum. If nothing else, the parents of those students will definitely know his name. Then there will be another big wave of reputation points. That's great. I am really lucky to have Principal Kong here in Yanhuang region. When Feng Yi heard that Kong Xian had agreed, he was relieved. In addition to being a principal, I am also an educator, and these are what I should do. Kong Xian said modestly. This matter would be of no harm to him, and he had no reason not to agree. After the serious conversation was over, Kong Xian took Feng Yi around again. At the same time, the review work on the other side also ended. The investigators gave high praise to the teaching level of teachers at Evergreen College. Evergreen College has officially passed the review by the Education Bureau and agreed to participate in the new semester's recruitment. The number of rookies admitted for the first time is set at 1,000 students. Trash, trash. The Dark Association is a bunch of trash. On the other hand, from the rooftop, I saw people from the Education Bureau driving away without fail. Zhuang Wenwen couldn't help but curse loudly at this moment. Zhuang Wenwen's phone rang. Only one sentence came from the phone. We will give you an explanation. Chapter 68, Kill Decisively. Everyone performed well today. Our school has passed the review of the Education Bureau and will accept new students as normal in September. I have prepared red envelopes for everyone. In the conference room, Kong Xian motioned to Erica to take out the red envelopes prepared in advance and distribute them to everyone. After passing the review, Evergreen College is about to become formal. Long live the principal! Everyone who received the red envelope burst into cheers. The benefits of Evergreen College are incredible, and the principal is generous. The thickness of this red envelope is 10,000 Alliance coins. There is still 1 month left before we accept new students. Those who are willing to stay in school can continue to stay in school. Those who are willing to go out to play can go out to play. For this month, the school will not make any requirements for you. No matter what you do, your salary will still be paid during this period. Kong Xian arranged for everyone. The Department of Education's review has now concluded. Next is the Suja Hangzhou Youth Cup half a month later, and then the new students will be introduced. Apart from these two things, there is nothing else. You can take a short break. That's about it. Let's call it a day. I said, why do you look so anxious? It turned out to be because of this. Looking at the 4 ice sculptures in front of her, Erica said to Kong Xian after the meeting. Kong Xian took Erica to find Pryce. Pryce brought them here again. Although the summer is hot, these 4 ice sculptures show no sign of melting. Mr. Kong, have you offended someone? These 2 people came to look for you and wanted to arrest me. Zhao Linger answered from the side. Why do children ask so many questions? Erica, take Linger away first. Kong Xian asked Erica to take Zhao Linger away first, as what happened next may not be suitable for children. What's so great? Isn't it just torture to extract confessions? I don't care about it. After Zhao Linger heard this, she curled her lips and left alone. She also knew that Kong Xian did this for her own good. Come out. After Zhao Linger left, Kong Xian directly released his alakazam. Uses phantom light to shatter the ice. Kong Xian directed Alakazam to attack the frozen woman and rescue the woman from the ice. Alakazam. Alakazam's arms were raised, and the two iron spoons in his hands were crossed together. A colorful light was released from the intersection of the two iron spoons. The phantom light hit the ice cubes accurately. Creak. Suddenly, spider-web-like cracks appeared on the ice. Bang! With a sound, the ice exploded, and the frozen woman regained her freedom. Call. The freed woman lay on the ground with her hands, panting heavily, and greedily breathed in the air. He kept mumbling, I'm saved, don't kill me, I won't say anything, I'm willing to cooperate. After a short rest, the woman raised her head and looked at Kong Xian and Pryce in front of her. Express yourself immediately. With a scary old man around, she knew she had no chance of winning. It was impossible to escape under his nose, so it is better to cooperate honestly. Maybe there's still hope of survival. You are quite aware of current affairs, but I just believe in me, Alakazam. Hypnosis. Kong Xian calmly commanded Alakazam to hypnotize her. The world of Pokémon has so many magical and convenient abilities, why not use it? Even if the other party is willing to cooperate, you still need to analyze it yourself after speaking. Wouldn't it be better to go through hypnosis directly? No, do not want. After hearing Kong Xian's order, the woman's eyes were full of fear, as if she had heard something terrible. Soon the fearful eyes gradually turned dull. Apparently he has been hypnotized by Alakazam. Name, Tao Ziyi, age 27, who are you and what are you doing at Evergreen College? Kong Xian asked a few simple questions, and the other party answered them fluently. After confirming that the other party was hypnotized, Kong Yuan began to ask for important information. We are trainers from the Dark Association. We have come to Evergreen College to assassinate the Education Bureau examiners, prevent Evergreen College from passing the review, and at the same time capture Kong Xian back to the Dark Association. Tao Ziyi replied calmly. Dark Association? Kong Xian was slightly startled when he heard Tao Ziyi's answer. He had heard of this organization from the memories in his mind. This is an organization created by a group of losers of the coup. It is powerful and has members spread across various regions. It is said that as long as you give money, you can do it anytime unexpectedly. This organization actually targeted him and wanted to take him back to the Dark Association. It didn't take much to figure out that this organization was interested in his knowledge. Is it you, Zhuang Wenwen, who commissioned you to assassinate and censor teacher? Kong Xian continued to ask. Tao Ziyi assassinate the examiner and prevent Evergreen College from passing the review without even thinking about it? I knew who had sent the commission apart from Zhuang Wenwen. There will be no other person. Yes, Tao Ziyi's answer proved Kong Xian's conjecture. Well, Zhuang Wenwen, I'm busy these days and don't have time to cause trouble for you, so you took action first. Upon hearing Tao Ziyi's answer, Kong Xian narrowed his eyes slightly, revealing a faint murderous intent. He must kill Zhuang Wenwen. There was just one thing that Kong Xian couldn't understand. If Zhuang Wenwen hated him so much, why didn't he film the people from the Dark Association to kill him instead? Find a way to prevent school censorship failures by assassinating censors. Where is your headquarters? Who is the leader? Kong Xian continued to ask. If others don't provoke him, he won't provoke others either. Since you dare to put your ideas on his head, you have to pay the price for it. I have no idea. Tao Ziyi shook his head dully. Have no idea. Regarding Tao Ziyi's answer, Kong Xian was a little surprised. Yes, since I joined the Dark Association, I don't know where the headquarters is, and I have never seen our leader. It is always my superior who contacts me and conveys orders to me. Tao Ziyi continued. It's interesting. After hearing this, Kong Xian fell into a brief thought, and the other party's methods were actually the same as Giovanni's except for the core members. No one knows his identity. Tell me everything you know about the Dark Association. Yes. Not long after, Tao Ziyi told Kong Xian everything he knew about the Dark Protocol. Although she doesn't know who the headquarters and leader of the Dark Association is, but he knew about his upline and the Dark Association's stronghold in Suzhou and Hangzhou. Do you need me to take action? Pryce continued from the side. Really? Need to trouble Pryce? He really needs Pryce to take action, but the target is not these miscellaneous fish from the Dark Association. Instead, it was used to deal with Zhuang Wenwen. As far as he knew, Zhuang Wenwen was also an elite trainer. If you want to kill Zhuang Wenwen quietly, only Pryce can do it. No one else can, including King Lu, There will be a sound only Pryce's ice can kill someone silently. Zhuang Wenwen taunted him again and again, and he couldn't bear it anymore. As for the Dark Association, he's not in a hurry to deal with it. He wants to wait for a big fish to take the bait since the other party dares to take advantage of him. If the plan fails this time, he will definitely not give up so easily. A stronger trainer will definitely be sent to cause trouble for him. What he wants to wait for is this fish, and then get more information from the Dark Association from him, then give the Dark Association a fatal blow. Even if the Dark Association cannot be destroyed, they must know the consequences of angering him. Just hit and hurt the opponent. As night falls, everyone falls into deep sleep. There was a fluctuation in space, and an Alakazam suddenly appeared in front of a certain villa in Songjiang Garden with the two of them. Pryce is here. These two people are none other than Kong Xian and Pryce, and this villa is where Zhuang Wenwen lives. Leave it to me. As soon as he finished speaking, I saw Arceus begin to float in the sky of this villa from the outside. The villa looked the same as before except for some snow on the roof, but inside the house, it had already been completely frozen by Swinib. I don't know how long it took for others to notice the abnormality. P.S. Some friends said that the system exploited the protagonist, but in fact it did not. The 500,000 yuan that gave King Lu an identity, I can only say that it is not just King Lu. This 500,000 yuan is absolutely worth it, as you will know later. Period. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69, Heading to the Magic City. 97, 98, 99, 1 million, finally. 1 million again, back. In his bedroom, Kong Xian was not sleepy and began to count his reputation points until 3 o'clock in the night. The reputation value increased to 1 million again. System, give Gary a seamless identity certificate. Kong Xian thought silently in his heart. Tomorrow, he will take everyone to the Demon City Battle Tower for training. Gary now also needs a reasonable identity information. A seamless identity requires 500,000 reputation points. After deducting 500,000, he still has 500,000 that can be kept as a spare. Ding. 10,000 reputation points will be deducted and the identity information is being generated. Ding. The generation is complete. As soon as the words in his mind finished, an ID card with Gary's photo printed on it fell onto Kong Xian's bed, -5, hearing. The voice in his head. Kong Xian wondered if his ears had heard it wrong, but when he opened his attribute panel, he still had 990,000 reputation points left out of just 1 million. What's going on with the system? Kong Xian asked with some confusion. Didn't it cost 500,000 reputation points to generate the green information before? Why did the creation of Gary only deduct 10,000 reputation points this time? Ding. When generating green information, related information such as Professor Oak, Daisy, Gary, etc. has been included. When the host generates these character information, it only needs to deduct 10,000 reputation points. The system will soon explain this. So, that's it. 880 No wonder generating a character's information requires so many reputation points. After hearing the system's explanation, Kong Xian suddenly understood why the system wanted to kill him. It turns out that the green information generated before was not just green, but a green gift package. Kong Xian was a little curious. If Professor Oak from both worlds would be summoned by then, how to differentiate between the two of them then? Forget it. Don't think about it anymore. Rest. Otherwise I won't be able to get up tomorrow. After generating Gary's information card, Kong Xian decided to rest. Tomorrow they will go to the Magic City. I went to bed too late and probably won't be able to get up. Have you packed everything? Early the next morning, with panda eyes in his eyes, Kong Xian started organizing people to go to the Magic City as if nothing was wrong. As for Zhuang Wenwen's death, just as he suspected, no one discovered it. Ivy College is still open as usual. I don't know when it will be discovered. Let's go. I can't wait. Zhao Linger is the most active, and she has long wanted to try the results of her special training. Even Pryce is like this. This is his first trip to this world. Even my clothes were changed into casual clothes, ready for a trip. The most anticipated one is green because Kong Xian told him that there was his counterpart there. Come on, let's take a photo together, and then we'll set off. Arriving at the entrance of Evergreen College and looking at the Evergreen College behind him, Kong Xian suddenly thought that it had been so long they don't have a photo together yet. Pryce, you come to the middle. King Lu, you stand next to Pryce. Kong Xian began to direct everyone to stand at the gate of the campus and take pictures. When I count to 3, 2, 1, everyone shouts eggplant together. After setting the camera, Kong Xian quickly ran to his location. 3, 2, 1, eggplant. With a shout from everyone, the first photo of teachers and students of the new Evergreen College was born. Kong Xian looked at the photo with satisfaction and immediately sent it to Moments. The target battle tower in the Magic City. I will see it. I will conquer it. Holy shit, Teacher Kong is coming to the Magic City? Although I am in Anhui Province, it does not prevent me from going to the Magic City to snipe shot Principal Kong. Will Principal Kong also participate in the battle in the battle tower? Wow wow wow, is that person who looks similar to Gary Teacher his brother? So handsome, so handsome. Teacher Kong must have given me his contact information. Isn't this the Grand Duke's son of the Zhao family? Why did he also enter Evergreen College? Teacher Kong looks like he has passed the college review. Wow wow wow, the missing person is back. It feels like I haven't seen Teacher Kong for several days. As soon as the photo was posted, countless netizens commented on it. There are even many people preparing to go to the battle tower snipe shot Kong Xian and his party. Is he coming to the Magic City? Would you like to meet me? On the other side of the Magic City Investigation Bureau, Bing Bing saw Kong Xian for his moments. I was very confused inside since Kong Xian stopped broadcasting live. She couldn't find any topics to chat with Kong Xian this time. Kong Xian brought teacher and students to the battle tower. Bing Bing was very confused and didn't know whether to go see Kong Xian. What are you struggling with? You have to take the initiative in this kind of thing. He doesn't even know who you are. How can you have a chance? Bing Bing's friends Iowa encouraged Bing Bing to take the initiative. Would this make him think that I am not reserved? Bing Bing's cheeks turned slightly red. I have to say that she was a little excited. This is the closest opportunity for Kong Xian to go to Magic City. She doesn't know when the next time will be. And why have you suddenly become so stupid? What is your identity? We are the publicist of our Magic City Investigation Bureau. Can't you just make an appointment with him for an exclusive interview? His school has just passed the review by the Education Bureau, and believe me, he will never refuse. Iowa is on the side giving him advice. Yes, I'll go find the director for instructions. When Bing Bing heard this, her eyes instantly lit up. Yes, why didn't she think of this method? She is a publicist for the Bureau of Investigation, and the other party is the self-proclaimed walking Pokémon encyclopedia. It makes sense to interview him yourself soon. Bing Bing went to ask the leader for instructions, and the result was no surprise. Her leader agreed. Next, I just need to spend as much time as possible with Kong Xian. King Lu, what do you think of this young lady? She's asking me for your contact information. On the high-speed train from Suzhou and Hangzhou to the Magic City, Kong Xian was joking about King Lu on his mobile phone when the photo was sent out. Many beautiful ladies among his wedged friends asked him for King Lu's contact information. Some even offered high prices. Not interested in King Lu. Did it even look at it and refused directly. That's right, you're already red. Kong Xian teased King Lu, who has anything to do with this guy. Hearing Kong Xian's joke, King Lu blushed and retorted, okay, it's okay, ha ha ha. Kong Xian laughed loudly. By the way, when will you bring Chi-Hong over? King Lu asked Kong Xian without Chi-Hong. He always felt like he was missing something. Who knows? It depends on luck. Kong Xian spread his hands and said he also wants to summon Crimson and Cynthia, but these all require luck. At this moment, Kong Xian's WeChat message rang again. Kong Xian thought it was Stephanie who asked him for King Lu's contact information. Kong Xian glanced at WeChat and found that it was sent by the netizen with the ID April in the world. Kong Xian was somewhat impressed by him and initially asked him what would happen to people who entered the ultimate cave later. We chatted for a while, but he didn't know about it these days, and the other party didn't look for him. Kong drove in first, not knowing when the other party would look for him. April in the world. Hello, Principal Kong. I am Bing Bing, a publicist for the Magic City Investigation Bureau and an anti-fraud publicist. I learned that you are coming to Magic City today. Can I give you 10 exclusive interviews? It's actually her. Looking at the message sent by the other party, Kong Xian was a little surprised unexpectedly. This person actually suspected Bingbing that he was a fraudster at first. Principal Kong, of course, can the battle tower be at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning? Seeing the other party's invitation, Kong Xian agreed without hesitation. How could he let go of this opportunity to gain reputation points? Kong Xian made an agreement with the other party to meet at the battle tower at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. April in the human world, of course there is no problem. Seeing Kong Xian's recovery, Bingbing's anxious heart felt relieved. How did he agree? Xiaoya asked curiously. Well, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Bingbing proudly showed Xiaoya her cell phone at the same time. I felt a little excited inside. I didn't expect that the first meeting between the two would start in this way. P.S. If you have any questions about the plot, you can leave a message in the comment area. I will read every one. Chapter 70, Arrangements in the Magic City. Pryce, we are here. This is the Magic City. 2 hours later, the high-speed train successfully arrived at the Moto high-speed railway station. It's really a prosperous city. Looking at the city with people coming and going, Pryce sighed. This is the most talkative city he has ever seen. Even Goldenrod City and Saffron City in their Kanto region cannot compare. Of course, this city is the core city of our East China Theater. In addition to the Battle Tower, the Alliance branch of the East China Theater is also here. It is the most prosperous city in our East China Theater. The level of trainers here is much higher than elsewhere. Kong Xian nodded and said, he has the same important position in this world as in his previous life because the Alliance branch and the Battle Tower are both here. The trainers here are slightly higher than those in other places in the East China Theater. Are we going to the Battle Tower now? After hearing this, King Lu couldn't wait to say, what's the rush? It's almost noon now. Let's put our luggage in the hotel first and then have lunch. In the afternoon you can go shopping, challenge the gym, or go out for fun. Wait until tomorrow when we go to the Battle Tower together. Kong Xian patted King Lu and comforted him. They will stay in the Magic City for a few days, so there is no need to rush about the Battle Tower. Soon everyone arrived at a luxurious hotel, put their luggage in, and had a delicious meal under the leadership of Kong Xian. What kind of 5-star hotel is not as delicious as Xiaogang's food? After the meal, Zhao Linker patted her belly. She thought the food in the 5-star hotel was so delicious. I didn't expect it to be worse than what Xiaogang did. You think so too, right, Zhao? Linker asked his Ninetales. Ninetales on the side also nodded in agreement and said that since he came here as a child, his life and food have improved countless times. It's true. The food Xiaogang cooks is the best I have ever tasted. Others couldn't help but praise. Really? Then Xiaogang will take care of everyone's meals from now on. Hearing the praise from everyone, a sense of pride in being recognized arises spontaneously. I'm afraid this won't work. Xiaogang, you have other tasks at this moment, Kong Xian interrupted. Do I have other tasks? Xiaogang was stunned for a moment and looked at Kong Xian doubtfully, wondering what Li Xian meant. Haven't you always wanted to learn acupuncture? This is the address of Dr. Amy's hospital. In the afternoon, you can go to Professor Amy to learn acupuncture. Kong Xian handed a note to Xiaogang. The address of Dr. Amy's hospital was written on it. Dr. Amy is also one of Kong Xian's fans. Kong Xian has already discussed it with him, and Xiaogang can just go directly. Really? Great. Thank you, Principal. Seeing the note in Kong Xian's hand, Xiaogang took it excitedly. He has also learned about acupuncture for a few days. Although they were all related to acupuncture points, the long and thin needles made Xiaogang afraid to try them easily. Unexpectedly, during this trip, the principal actually found a place for him to learn acupuncture. Dr. Amy is a great beauty, so you have to work hard. Kong Xian gave Xiaogang a look that don't worry, Principal, I won't let you down. After saying that, Xiaogang went back to the room to pack his things and prepared to go to Dr. Amy's hospital. What about you? What are your plans for the afternoon? After Xiaogang left, Kong Xian asked everyone. I made an appointment with a friend and am going to meet him in the afternoon. Zhao Jin answered from the side. His friends had asked him out a long time ago, but they were all training with Pryce at the time and turned them down. I'm going to challenge 1 or 2 gyms to prepare for the subsequent intermediate professional title assessment. Zhao Linger bit her fingers and thought different from the assessment for junior professional titles. The assessment for intermediate professional titles requires 4 gym badges to be eligible to sign up. Now she knows that Ninetale's strength far exceeds the level of an intermediate trainer, so she wants to prepare for the intermediate professional title assessment in advance. Me too. Gary nodded and agreed there was no trainer professional title exam in their original world. Gary also wants to participate in the trainer assessment of this world. I'm with you, Kinglu. Didn't have much hesitation and wanted to go with Gary and Xiaolinger. He wanted to see the level of trainers here, and it wouldn't hurt if he encountered a good competition. Haha, in that case, I'll go with you, please. Give me flowers. Pryce continued with a smile. He wanted to see what Xiaolinger's current strength was like as Professor Yumeng. So, the principal and I are the only ones left. Principal, please go shopping with me this afternoon. I want to buy some clothes. Erica looked around and found that she and the principal were the only ones with no plans for the afternoon, so she looked at Kong Xian with a hint of pleading. I said, you two shouldn't have any hidden secrets. After hearing Erica's words, Xiaolinger looked at the two of them seriously and asked, what can happen to the two of us? It's not like you don't know that Erica teacher spends money like water. The reason why she took me away was because she ran out of money, and she was planning to make me pay for her as a scapegoat. Kong Xian rolled his eyes at Xiaolinger. He knew exactly what Erica had planned with the hundreds of thousands of alliance coins left in her hand. An ordinary trainer might not be able to spend them all in a few months, but if it comes to this young lady, Kong Xian can guarantee that everything will be gone in less than an afternoon. 5 million alliance coins have been spent to this day and there is still some left over, which is a big loss for this young lady. Am I that kind of person? I just want to buy some clothes and let the principal look at them for me. Erica, whose thoughts were detected, raised her neck proudly and retorted, but her slightly rosy cheeks betrayed her inner thoughts. That was exactly what she had in mind. So, that's it. Erica teacher, I still have some here. If you don't have any money, just take it and use it first. When Xiaolinger heard that Erica had no money, she generously took out the pocket money Kong Xian gave her. I also have some here. Pryce, who had no need for money, also gave Erica his salary. No, I have some more here. Erica quickly waved her hand and refused. She had no choice but to spend Kong Xian's money. Even if other people's money was given to her, she was too embarrassed to take it. Linger, Pryce, keep this money for yourself. I went shopping with Erica teacher in the afternoon, and I happen to want to buy some things too. Kong Xian is like a roundworm in Erica's belly. Detecting all of Erica's thoughts, let Xiaolinger and Pryce collect the money. Go shopping with Erica in the afternoon. Period. Chapter 71, Xiaolinger's first challenge. Pryce, Teacher Kinglu, this is the Blue Gym. The gym leader is a trainer who specializes in the water element. Not long after, Xiaolinger followed a navigation on her phone and took Pryce, Kinglu, and Gary to a water gym called Blue Gym. Demon City is a coastal city. Most of the gyms here are mainly based on the water system, and there are very few other systems. Most battle venues are also water venues. Come on, let's go. And the four of them entered the Blue Gym. What greeted them was a hall. There is a young lady at the front desk of the lobby who is responsible for receiving challengers and registering challenges. Hello, are you here to challenge the Blue Gym? The moment Xiaolinger and others entered the gym, the lady at the front desk who was responsible for receiving the challenge asked Xiaolinger, yeah, he and I are going to challenge the Blue Gym. Xiaolinger nodded, pointed at Gary and said Xiao Jin went to play with his friends, and now only he and Gary have to compete in the gym. Okay, do your Pokemon have water storage or storm drain ability Pokemon? The Blue Gym currently does not accept challenges from Pokemon with water storage abilities. The receptionist continued to ask. Since the advent of Pokemon ability, their gym trainers have suffered from these water storage ability and storm drain ability Pokemon. It's obviously a water 010 gym, but when fighting the opponent, you can't use water moves, not to mention how frustrating it is. So there was a rule that prohibited the use of water storage ability and storm drain time-based Pokemon in water gyms. Fire-type gyms prohibit the use of Pokemon with flash fire ability. Electric-type gyms prohibit the use of Pokemon with the power storage ability and lightning rod. Our Pokemon does not have water drain ability or storm drain ability. Xiaolinger was slightly stunned after hearing this. She didn't expect that the gym here actually had such a rule. That's no problem. You two, please show your trainer cards or ID cards. I'll register you here. The front desk lady smiled slightly and asked Xiaolinger and Gary for relevant identification documents. Only in this way will your challenge record be recorded. Otherwise, if the challenge is successful and you get a badge, it will not be in the Alliance record, and the challenge will be invalid. Okay, here's my trainer and his ID. Xiaolinger handed her trainer card and Gary's ID card to the other party. Okay, the challenge level has been processed for you. Please go to the waiting room to wait. Not long after, the front desk lady returned Xiaolinger's trainer card and Gary's ID card, and pointed to the waiting room at the back of the hall. Okay, thank you, sister. Xiaolinger took her trainer card and thanked the lady at the front desk. Then he pushed Pryce to the waiting room. Her challenge number is 17, and Gary's is 18. There is another challenger ahead of them. It's their turn to wait until the previous challenger's challenge ends. It's Feraligatr. Is this the gym trainer's Pokemon? Just after entering the waiting room, Xiaolinger exclaimed while looking at the battle images coming from the projector in the waiting room. At this time, the trainer of the blue gym is commanding a Feraligatr to fight against a Gyarados. Kinglu and Gary also found an empty seat and sat down, watching the battle. Feraligatr uses a slashing attack to end this game. In the picture, the gym trainer of blue gym commands his Feraligatr to launch the final attack on Gyarados. Want to end this game? It's still early to end the game. Gyarados uses bite attack. Gyarados trainer was not to be outdone and commanded Gyarados to fight back. Roar. After receiving the instructions from his trainer, Gyarados roared to the sky and rushed towards Feraligatr with his mouth wide open. However, just when Gyarados was about to bite Feraligatr, Feraligatr hit his jaw with a claw and flew it away. Bang! A sound. Gyarados fell back into the water, causing countless splashes. When the water spray dispersed, Gyarados' eyes were like mosquito repellent incense and he lost his fighting ability. Come back, Gyarados. I lost. Seeing that Gyarados lost his fighting ability, Gyarados' trainer took Gyarados back and admitted defeat to the trainer of blue gym. Your Gyarados has been trained very well. If the level is raised a little more, then I will no longer be your rival. The trainer of the blue gym praised the other party humbly. Yes, I will work hard. Hearing the praise from the blue gym trainer, Gyarados' trainer regained his fighting spirit. Next person. After Gyarados' trainer left, Kong Xian shouted, preparing for the next battle. Soon an announcement sounded in the waiting room. Please invite challenger number 17 Xiaolinger to go to the battle area for a battle. Pryce, I'm going. Hearing the voice on the radio, Xiaolinger said hello to Pryce, then go to the battle area and compete in the gym challenge. The frequency of battles in gyms in this world is really high. Looking at Xiaolinger's leaving figure, Pryce sighed. It was only the afternoon, and counting Xiaolinger and Gary, this gym trainer had at least 18 competitions today in their original world. This kind of frequency might not last more than one day in a month. Kinglu on the side nodded. The number of trainers in this world is terrifying. There are only a few trainers in Pallet Town every year in this world. There are hundreds of them in just one school. Soon Xiaolinger's figure came into the eyes of the three people through the projector. Looking at your age, you should be a junior trainer. How about using a Pokemon according to the rules of the tournament? Seeing the challenger coming in, Kong Xian said to Xiaolinger, the competition rules of the blue gym are not unchanged by Kuri. He will challenge based on the opponent's professional level. Most junior trainers like Xiaolinger only have one Pokemon in their hands at this time. The game is 1v1. If the opponent is an intermediate or advanced trainer, he will adjust the competition rules to 2 or 3. No problem. Xiaolinger agreed without hesitation. Part of the reason why she came to challenge the blue gym was because of the competition rules. In this case, the Pokemon I use is still this one. Seeing that Xiaolinger had no objection, Kong Xian pointed to Feraligatr beside him. Now Feraligatr's contest condition is still very good, completely competent for this game. Then the Pokemon I use is her. Go. Ninetales. Xiaolinger immediately threw Ninetales' Pokeball and released Ninetales, accompanied by a flash of red light from the Pokeball. A snow-white Ninetales jumped out from the Pokeball and landed gracefully on the pillar of the water field. The moment Ninetales appeared, Arceus began to float on the gym playing field. It's Ninetales' ability, Snowfall. It's Snowfall ability. It's really troublesome. Seeing the sudden floating Arceus, Kong Xian had a headache. Snowfall will not only consume Feraligatr's physical strength, but also affect Feraligatr's speed over time. Feraligatr will even freeze and become unable to move. Feraligatr, make a quick decision. Use Water Gun to attack. Kong and decided to fight quickly and took the lead in commanding Feraligatr to attack. Ninetales. Dodge, then use Frozen Garden facing Feraligatr's attack. Xiaolinger calmly commanded her Ninetales. Following Xiaolinger's command, Ninetales jumped from one pillar to another, avoiding Feraligatr's water gun attack. At the same time, a cold wind passed by, and a thin layer of ice crystals condensed on the water surface of the battlefield. Even Feraligatr has a few ice crystals on his body. Not a bad plan. Seeing the situation on the battlefield, Pryce nodded and said happily this thin layer of ice crystals didn't seem to cause much damage to Feraligatr, but the thickness of this layer of ice crystals cannot support Feraligatr standing on the ice. If Feraligatr wants to attack Ninetales, he must break through the ice crystal. When breaking through the ice crystal, this layer of crystal ice spikes will cause damage to Feraligatr. Coupled with Snowfall's ability, the longer the battle drags on, the better it will be for Xiaolinger. In addition, the pain caused by ice spikes will also reduce Feraligatr's speed. If the opponent wants to dive into the underwater to attack, they can directly use the freezing light to freeze Feraligatr in the water, and the game is over. Feraligatr, rush over and use /attack, Kong, and naturally saw Xiaolinger's intention, and the longer be delayed it, the more detrimental it would be to him. That's it. Feraligatr waved his arms, shattering the ice on the water, and approached Ninetales. The ice crystals were shattered by Feraligatr and floated on the water. As Feraligatr advanced, some sharp ice thorns pierced into Feraligatr's skin, makes Feraligatr painful. Hold it, Feraligatr, you can, Kong, and comforted Feraligatr. If he wanted to defeat the opponent, this layer of ice crystals was the only way to pass. However, what made Kong in despair was that just when Feraligatr was about to approach Ninetales, a beam of freezing light shot out from Ninetales' mouth and shot towards Feraligatr. Get out of the way. Seeing this, Kong quickly commanded Feraligatr to dodge. Plop. With a sound, Feraligatr dived into the water to dodge. Seeing this scene, Kong's heart skipped a beat. 1.9 fell into the trap. Now, Ninetales, use the freezing beam with full power. Xiaolinger showed a sly smile. This is the time she has been waiting for. From the beginning of snowfall to the just icy when she was preparing to freeze the entire surface of the water. Ouch! Received Xiaolinger's command. Ninetales increased its output, and the battlefield was already cold due to snowfall and icy wind. In just a short moment, under the attack of the freezing light, a thick layer of ice crystals condensed, completely sealing Feraligatr in ice. What a strong commanding ability, Kong! And was stunned when he saw the battlefield completely frozen. Is this really the command ability that a junior trainer should have? Compared with the opponent, I feel that I am the challenger of the gym master. Kong, did I win? Xiaolinger asked Kong. Yes, you won this game. This is the blue badge. Please keep it. Hearing Xiaolinger's voice, Kong woke up from the shock. He took out a blue drop-shaped badge from his pocket and handed it to Xiaolinger. He was convinced that he lost this game from the beginning. They were led by the other party's nose. Yeah, I got a blue badge. Xiaolinger jumped excitedly when she got Kang. Period. Chapter 72. I want to send my child away. It's true that the waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves ahead. Looking at Xiaolinger's leaving figure, Kong sighed. Although Feraligatr is not his strongest Pokémon, it still has advanced strength. Normal's junior trainer is really not a rival. Unexpectedly, the opponent was frozen in the water and lost the game. Kong shook his head helplessly, and then activated the switch to shatter the ice on the field, freeing Feraligatr and preparing for the next game. I got a blue badge. Xiaolinger, who returned to the waiting room, held the blue badge and said with a proud smile, well done. The game was exciting. Pryce praised Xiaolinger without hesitation, saying that Xiaolinger has made great progress during this period. Challenger Number 18 is invited to go to the battle area and compete in the gym. Just then, an announcement sounded in the waiting room. It's my turn to perform. Hearing him being called on the radio, Gary straightened his clothes and walked towards the training ground. Gary. Teacher, Kong. And exclaimed when he saw Gary. He didn't expect that Gary would be his next rival this morning. I also heard that Principal Kong and his team came to the Magic City. Unexpectedly, it was Teacher Gary who came to challenge him this time. Just call me Gary. Gary scratched his head in embarrassment. That's not possible. I watch your live broadcast every day. You can still be considered half a student. Kong declined. By the way, Teacher Gary, isn't Principal Kong here? Kong and asked in the direction of the exit. Since Gary is here, then Principal Kong should also be here. Principal. Kong has other matters that he didn't come with us. Gary shook his head and said, "That's such a shame, Kong." And said regretfully when he heard that Kong Xian didn't come, he also wanted to ask Principal Kong how to deal with the water-type Pokemon that have water storage ability and storm drain ability Pokemon. These two ability Pokemon have one thing in common, that is, they are immune to water-type moves after being attacked by water-based moves. Not only will you not be harmed, but you will recover your physical strength and increase your special attack. It's not that they're afraid of fighting Pokemon with these two abilities, but because this is new knowledge, they don't have a good way to deal with it yet. If you fight them, you have to be prepared to lose them. This is such a waste of time. Magic City serves as the location of the Pokemon Alliance branch of the East China Theater. I don't know how many challengers there are every day. That's why he didn't accept the challenge from the water storage ability and storm drain ability Pokemon. Now that Principal Kong has not come, he can only consult Principal Kong on Wetchet. In that case, let's get started. Teacher Mao. Seeing that Kong Xian did not come, Kong Xian was ready to start this gym competition with Gary. Come on horseback. Gary shouted with high spirits. Go, Walrein. Facing Gary, Kong Xian directly released his strongest Pokemon with the red light of the Pokeball flashing. A level 61 Walrein appeared in the pool of the competition venue a few days ago. When Gary was competing against that mysterious Pokemon, someone pulled out his Blastoise, which possessed elite level strength. Facing Gary, his strength cannot be defined by his age. It's Walrein. Looks so strong, Gary said excitedly when he saw the energetic Walrein in the competition venue. Then, it's up to you, Blastoise. Gary also released his strongest Pokemon, Kami, with the Pokeball's red light flashing. Gary's Blastoise also appeared in the water army on the playing field. Gary. Teacher, you will attack first this time, Kong. And asked Gary to attack first. Then, I'm not welcome. Let's go to Blastoise and use Rocket Headbutt. Gary did not activate Kong Xian and directly attacked Blastoise. Following Gary's command, Blastoise shrank its head and limbs into its turtle shell, and the two cannon barrels behind it sprayed out two torrents, propelling the rocket team towards Walrein at high speed. Walrein. Block it, then use Hail. Bang. A sound. Blastoise hit Walrein hard, but due to the thick fat on Walrein's body, not only did Walrein not suffer much damage, but Blastoise was thrown into the water by the thick fat bomb. Then Arceus began to float on the playing field. Walrein, use Blizzard now. Seeing Blastoise falling into the water, Kong Xian immediately directed Walrein to use Blizzard, hoping to imitate Xiaolinger and freeze Blastoise in the water. That ends the game. Call. Suddenly, the entire water field was blown by Blizzard, and the cold blizzard quickly froze the water field into a thick layer of ice. Oops, Blastoise got frozen to the underwater. When Xiaolinger in the waiting room saw this scene, she couldn't help but worry about Gary. This move was exactly what she had used against Feraligatr before. Gary will not lose so easily, King Glue continued from the side. He was still very clear about Gary's strength. It is simply impossible to resolve the battle quickly with this kind of strength. Looks like I win, Gary. Teacher. Seeing that Blastoise was successfully frozen in the water, Kong Xian confidently said, announcing his victory. It's too early to say the outcome now. Blastoise uses Hydro Pump and Rocket Headbutt to rush out. Gary yelled into the water. As soon as he finished speaking, there was only a bang sound. Blastoise broke out of the ice. There was a thick layer of ice crystals on the water, but a big hole was suddenly washed out by Blastoise. The powerful impact of Hydro Pump blasts Blastoise into the air. What? Seeing this scene, Kong Xian was dumbfounded. He could actually use the counter-impact force of Hydro Pump to break the ice. Now, Blastoise uses Body Slam. Gary used the downward force in mid-air to let Blastoise use Body Slam. Bang! A sound. Blastoise hit Walrein with precision. The powerful impact directly caused the ice below Walrein to break and fall into the water. When Walrein surfaced again, his eyes were like mosquito-repellent incense and he lost his ability to fight. So awesome. Is this really only 14, Kong? And was shocked when he saw Walrein losing his fighting ability. How did Principal Kong train these two little monsters? I didn't expect that. Teacher Gary not only taught the class well, but also had outstanding abilities. This is the blue badge. Please accept it, Teacher Gary. After Kong Xian came to his senses, he took out a tower blue badge from his pocket and handed it to Gary. Then, I'll accept it without any courtesy. Gary was not polite to Kong Xian and accepted the badge directly. Wait a minute, Gary teacher, just. When Gary was about to leave, Kong Xian hurriedly called to Gary, Master. Kong, is there anything else? Gary asked curiously, wondering why Kong Xian called him. It's like this. I don't know how your school recruits out-of-town students. I want to send my child there, Kong. And asked Principal. Kong is known as the walking Pokemon encyclopedia. He has also trained two geniuses, Gary teacher and Zhao Linger. This is enough to prove the teaching ability of Principal Kong's school. Therefore, he also wanted to send his children to Principal Kong's school to receive better training. Wait until you can inherit your own mantle in the future. I'm not very clear about this. I need to ask the principal. Gary replied apologetically. I have always taken care of school matters by myself. Now occasionally Erica teacher will go over to help. That's it. Please ask teacher Gary to ask teacher Kong for me, Kong. And ask Gary for help. No problem, I'll ask you when I go back tonight. Gary agreed without thinking. After Kong Xian comes back, help the Confucius Hall owner inquire about recruiting students from other places. P.S. There is another chapter today. Chapter 73, Traditional Chinese Medicine and Acupuncture. It should be right here on the other side. Following the address provided by Kong Xian, Xia Gang successfully arrived at a hospital called Amy Traditional Chinese Medicine Clinic. Is anyone here? Xia Gang pushed open the door of the hospital and shouted inside. Soon a little nurse in nurse uniform ran out. You're also here to give Pokemon acupuncture treatment, right? Please come in quickly. Nurse thought that Xia Gang was also here to give Pokemon acupuncture treatment. Then let Xia Gang come in. That's not me. I was introduced by Principal Kong to learn acupuncture from Dr. Amy. Xia Gang explained to nurse. Oh, you must be Xia Gang. Dr. Amy has already greeted me. Come with me. After hearing Xia Gang's explanation, little nurse suddenly realized let Xia Gang follow her. Dr. Amy had already greeted her before. Principal Kong introduced an apprentice named Xia Gang. If the other party comes, just take him over. Soon Xia Gang followed Miss Nurse to the hospital. Dr. Amy is giving Pokemon acupuncture treatment. Just wait here for a while. There is water there. If you drink it, pour it yourself. Miss Nurse took Xia Gang to a waiting room and asked Xia Gang to wait for Amy here. Okay, please, Xia Gang thanked nurse and then sat in the waiting room waiting for Dr. Amy. Soon the door inside opened and a rich lady walked out holding a Dongshi cat. He kept mumbling, "My little sweetheart, I feel so sorry for my mother." Behind her was a mature woman with saffron-colored hair, glasses and a white coat. Mrs. Zhang, I have removed the congestion in Dongshi cat's body. Don't let him fight during this period. Dongshi cat's injuries will heal after a while. Dr. Amy pushed up the glasses on the bridge of her nose, put her hands in her pockets, and gave instructions to Mrs. Fute. Thank you very much Dra. I will pay attention to it. Mrs. Fute kept thanking Dr. Amy before leaving. What happened to your Pokemon? After Mrs. Fute left, Amy looked at Xia Gang in the waiting room and asked. She also regarded Xia Gang as the trainer who came to give Pokemon acupuncture treatment. Hello, Dr. Amy. I am Xia Gang, who was recommended by Principal Kong to come here to learn acupuncture from you. Please also accept Xia Xin, please. After hearing Dr. Amy's inquiry, Xia Gang stood up and said extremely seriously, ask Amy to teach him acupuncture. Look at my memory. Why do you look so familiar? Since it was recommended by Principal Kong, just study with me during this period. After hearing Xia Gang's explanation, Amy patted her forehead and suddenly realized. Only then did I remember. Isn't the person in front of me someone from Principal Kong's circle of friends today? No wonder it looks so familiar. So he agreed to Xia Gang's request. Principal Kong has already paid her a large amount of tuition. Thank you so much, Xia Gang breathed a sigh of relief when he heard Amy agreed. Bowed deeply towards Amy again. Not so polite. Just consider this your home. Xia Gang was too polite, which made Amy feel uncomfortable for a while. I heard from Principal Kong that you have some knowledge about Pokemon's acupoints, right? Amy said to Kong Xian. When Kong Xian communicated with her before, he told her a lot of information about Xia Gang. Yes, Xia Sheng has a fairly good understanding of Pokemon's acupuncture points. He can relieve Pokemon's fatigue by massaging the Pokemon's acupoints, Xia Gang said truthfully. Now that we know something about Pokemon's acupuncture points, It will be easier to handle. These books are some of my experience in using acupuncture on Pokemon over the years. You can read them when you have nothing to do. When a patient comes, you stay by my side and observe. AI. Yin pulled out one of her notes from the bookshelf at the back and handed it to Xiaogang. Let Xiaogang Xiang find out this is all her own hard work. If Principal Kong hadn't given him too much, she wouldn't have shown Xiaogang her years of experience. Yes, I will work hard. Xiaogang solemnly took the book and assured Amy. How about it? I'll save some money. I just bought a few clothes and nothing else. At the same time, in a certain shopping mall in Shanghai, Erica was carrying 1 or 2 shopping bags and showing off to Kong Xian with a proud look on her face. Yes, just a few pieces of clothing, all of which are custom made. Kong Xian replied helplessly, you did buy a few pieces of clothing, but those pieces of clothing are gone for $1 million. Kong Xian had to lament that money is really not worth spending. Who made you my boss? Erica said with some charm. She didn't know about others, but she was very happy during the time she came to this world. There are not so many evil forces, and people here don't know those legendary Pokemon, and no one is watching their power. There is no need to fight every day, and she can still engage in her previous profession. The most important thing is to have a generous boss. It was so much more comfortable than her old world. By the way, Kong Xian, what do you want to buy? Erica asked Kong Xian. Kong Xian was speechless when he heard Erica call him. I guess I learned it from Zhao Linger. I don't know when it started. Erica also called his name in private. He would only be called Principal when there were many people. I'm going to buy some Pokemon healing devices. We will open 25 classes, and each class will be equipped with 1 device. A total of 25 devices will be needed. Kong Xian said to Erica. The Pokemon healing device is the instrument used by Nurse Joy to treat Pokemon in the anime. The healing device combined with potion can speed up the recovery of Pokemon's injuries. When school starts, students will definitely have Pokemon battles. This kind of thing is essential. Evergreen Academy's original Pokemon healing devices have been sold by the owner of this body. Now the only thing left in the entire school is a dilapidated Pokemon healing device. Just 1 is definitely not enough, so Kong Xian wants to buy a new batch of Pokemon healing devices. In addition, some medical personnel must be recruited. Okay, I'll go with you. Erica smiled and decided to accompany Kong Xian to order 10 Pokemon healing devices. During this period everything went very smoothly and nothing happened as time passed. It soon came to night. That is the battle tower. During a simple dinner, Kong Xian and Erica wandered along the Huangpu River looking at the battle tower on the other side of the river. Erica asked curiously. Kong Xian and Erica were walking along the Huangpu River at night, looking at the battle tower on the other side of the river. Erica asked curiously, well, there is the battle tower, also called the Oriental Pearl Tower. Kong Xian nodded. The landmark building of the Magic City in the previous life has become a holy place for trainers to fight in the East China Theater. It's really majestic. Looking at the battle tower standing above the clouds, Erica sighed. What a majestic building. Evergreen Academy will also become a holy place in the hearts of trainers in the future. Kong Xian affirmed from the side he wants to build the Evergreen Pokemon Academy into the world's top Pokemon Academy, become the holy place among all trainers. Well, I believe in you, you can definitely do it. Erica walked up to Kong Xian, faced Kong Xian and cheered Kong Xian up. Looking at Erica in front of him, Kong Xian was a little lost for a moment and didn't know what he was thinking. Chirp bang. At this moment, bright fireworks suddenly exploded and soaring in the sky. The sound of fireworks brought Kong Xian back to reality. Fireworks bloomed one after another in soaring in the sky, and various Pokemon patterns appeared in soaring in the sky. Wow, what beautiful fireworks! Looking at the fireworks blooming all over the sky, Erica jumped up happily. She has not seen such beautiful fireworks for a long time. Just like this, the two of them held onto the guardrail by the river and watched the fireworks soaring in the sky. They didn't go back until the fireworks were over. Brothers, it's 12 o'clock. I, Jin Wang Zhao, must go back. Let's talk another day. At the same time, on the other side, Zhao Jin saw that the time had reached 12 o'clock. Then he followed a few of his friends and said goodbye. No, young Master Zhao, this is not like you. Yeah, why did I suddenly turn into a child after not seeing you for a few days? Isn't it because I'm afraid of Principal Kong? Ha. Ha ha ha. Hearing that Zhao Jin wanted to go back, several of Zhao Jin's friends laughed and laughed at Zhao Jin. Zhao Jin wasn't angry about this, he just turned his head to remind them, brothers, the boss is not young anymore, it's time to work hard. The World holds more secrets than we remotely imagine. Zhao Jin remembered the legendary Pokémon that Kong Xian mentioned before, and reminded everyone there are still many secrets in this world that he doesn't know. After speaking, Zhao Jin turned around and left without looking back, returning to the hotel bathroom. What does it mean? Have no idea. Ignore him. Drink. Yes. Don't let Zhao Jin spoil our interest by drinking and drinking. Several of Zhao Jin's friends did not take Zhao Jin's words to heart. After Zhao Jin left, he continued to eat and drink as he should. P.S. Make a transition. Period. Chapter 74, Bingbing's interview. Why haven't you come yet? Early. The next morning, Bingbing led her team to the battle tower to wait for the arrival of Kong Xian and his party, but now the time is about to reach the appointed time. I haven't seen Kong Xian and his party yet. This made Bingbing feel a little anxious. Sister Bingbing, why don't you borrow Principal Kong's? The photographer from Bingbing's team suggested to Bingbing. Well, I'm waiting. When the time comes, I'll urge you. Bingbing hesitated for a moment and replied, decided to wait until the agreed time arrives before contacting Kong Xian. Come on, let's see if that's Principal Kong. At this moment, someone shouted. Look in the direction of the sound. I saw Kong Xian walking towards this side with teachers and students from his school. It's Principal Kong. Let's go. Seeing Kong Xian coming, he immediately led his team to greet him. The battle tower is finally here. Set a small goal first and win 10 consecutive victories. On the way to the battle tower, Zhao Linger said with confidence, I'm not too shy. I want to win 10 consecutive games. Be careful not to overturn in the first game. Kong Xian rubbed Zhao Linger's head and said, Battle Tower, the holy place for trainers in the East China Theater here. Whether you are an advanced trainer or an elite trainer, you can find a rival that can match you. There's even a working elite here. Battle Tower. Looking at the battle tower standing in front of him, his green eyes were burning with fighting spirit. 253. He finally waited for this day. Principal Kong. At this moment, a clear female voice interrupted everyone's conversation. Look in the direction of the sound. One after another, women wearing investigator uniforms ran towards them, followed by several people in a macho carrying a camera. Hello, Principal Kong. I'm Bingbing. I made an appointment with you yesterday to conduct an exclusive interview with you today. Arriving in front of Kong Xian, Bingbing stretched out her slender palm to introduce herself. It is you. Hello. Kong Xian also stretched out a hand and touched it slightly. I have to admit that Bingbing is indeed very beautiful, far more beautiful than the one on the phone. Does Principal Kong have time now? I want to ask you a few questions. Bingbing lifted her hair behind her ears and asked Kong Xian. Now? Of course there is time, officer. Bingbing, just ask him what he wants to ask. There is no charge for this. Kong Xian joked. Principal Kong is still so interesting, but before we start, won't Mr. Kong introduce them to us? Bingbing looked at the people around Kong Xian and smiled slightly. Of course, no problem. This is Pryce, this is Teacher Erica, and this is Teacher Kinglu. All three of them are teachers in my school. Kong Xian introduced Pryce, Erica and Kinglu to Bingbing. He's also a teacher. Bingbing was slightly startled when she heard Kong Xian's introduction. Pryce and Erica are both easy to talk to, but this person named Kinglu is also a teacher. This is too young? Yes, Teacher Midori is a very strong trainer. You will know after today. Kong Xian smiled slightly. After today, Kinglu's name will be known to everyone in the entire Yanhuang region. Then, I'm looking forward to Teacher Kinglu's performance. Regarding Kinglu's strength, Bingbing didn't take it seriously and just smiled. You should know this. His name is Gary, and he is Kinglu's younger brother. This is the Grand Duke of Zhao Jin's Yulong family, and this is Zhao Linger. My family members are all students in our school now. Kong Xian continued to introduce others to Bingbing. Did Principal Kong bring them here to challenge the battle tower today? Looking at Gary, Zhao Jin and Zhao Linger, Bingbing asked. That's right. In half a month we will have the Youth Cup in Suzhou and Hangzhou. I will bring them here to practice and add some Pokémon to fight against. Kong Xian nodded. So, that's it. By the way, isn't Xia Gang, the city hero of Suzhou and Hangzhou, coming with you? Seeing that there was one less person, Bingbing asked curiously. She remembered the circle of friends that Kong Xian posted, and Xia Gang also came with her. Xiao Gang went to study for further study. Kong Xian nodded and replied, now that our interview has officially begun, my first question, you call yourself the walking Pokemon encyclopedia on the internet. Have you ever encountered a question that you couldn't answer? Bing Bing nodded and suddenly realized, and then started to ask Kong Xian the first question. No, so far I haven't encountered a question that I can't answer. Again, as long as it's related to Pokemon, there's nothing I don't know. Every trainer who has consulted me about this should know. Kong Xian answered truthfully. He has this confidence, and the more than 10 years of watching games, comics, and animations are not in vain. It seems that Principal Kong's walking Pokemon encyclopedia is worthy of its name. Then, the second question is, when you started charging for money on the internet, how did you start explaining Pokemon ability for free later? Bing Bing then asked the second question. Well, I believe everyone who has checked my information also knows that I run a school and I owe a lot of debt in order to run this school. The paid consultations before were to repay the debt. After the debt is paid off, as a principal, I will naturally contribute to the education industry in our Yanhuang region. Kong Xian continued to answer. In fact, he is not that great. Free tutorials on Pokemon ability are all about gaining reputation points. Principal Kong is really great. It would be great if every school and teacher in our Yanhuang region thought like Principal Kong. After listening to Kong Xian's answer, Bing Bing admired Kong Xian even more. If these things were sold, they would definitely make a lot of money. But Kong Xian spoke out selflessly. This is definitely not something that normal people can do. Then, one last question. I heard that Principal Kong's studies have passed the review of the Education Bureau, and he will soon participate in the recruitment of new students next semester. What are the requirements for foreign students who want to apply for Evergreen College? Her question was more or less selfish. I want to help Kong Xian's school become famous. For students from other places, we have no such plan this year. Maybe next year we will open a registration channel for students from other places. Kong Xian thought for a moment and replied. Gary asked him this question yesterday. He would like to open a registration channel for students from other places, but considering that Evergreen College has just resumed its eligibility to accept new students, just develop slowly. If you eat a big fat thing in one bite, you will probably eat it to death. That's such a shame. Thank you very much to President Kong for taking time out of his busy schedule to accept our interview. This concludes today's interview. After Kong Xian answered the last question, Bing Bing also announced the end of this interview. It's okay, no problem, officer. Bing Bing, if there is nothing else to do, I will take the children to the battle tower. Seeing that the interview is over, Kong Xian said goodbye to Bing Bing and prepared to continue to the battle tower. Okay, Principal Kong will be busy first. I will tell you when the interview is broadcast. Looking at Kong Xian's leaving figure, Bing Bing breathed a sigh of relief. Although she looked very relaxed just now, she was actually pretending to be calm. P.S. I have received several reminder votes. Now the author is stably updating more than 10,000 words every day. It is recommended that the voting brothers vote after 11 o'clock in the evening and directly vote for 12,000 words of reminders. This can play a role in urging updates, otherwise all the money was wasted. Period. Chapter 75, The Era Begins. After accepting Bing Bing's interview, Kong Xian led everyone into the glass sensor door. What comes into view is the spacious reception room. There are sofas and coffee tables everywhere. There were also plates filled with fruits on the tables. Some trainers were sitting on the couch or in a small circle sharing their understanding of Pokemon. Some trainers also lined up to sign up to take part in the challenge of the battle tower. There was a constant stream of discussions and exclamations. You can still vaguely hear the rumbling sounds of fighting coming from upstairs. The fighting atmosphere is extremely intense on the other side of the reception room. There is a corridor. 5 Pokemon emergency rooms are designed in the corridor to prevent Pokemon battles from being too intense, resulting in delayed Pokemon treatment and worsening of injuries. There are dozens of high-definition projectors hanging on the metal walls of the reception room. Wonderful Pokemon battles are played on it for everyone to enjoy and learn. Wow! It's so intense. Look at the dozens of projectors hanging on the walls. Everyone was like children from the countryside entering the village, taking a closer look, full of curiosity. Okay. Here is the battle tower. Zhao Jin, take them to register. Kong Xian said to Zhao Jin. Among them, only Zhao Jin came to the battle tower. No one else has been. It's the principal. Green. Teacher, Gary, Linger, come with me. Zhao Jin took Kinglu, Gary and Zhao Linger to the registration office of the battle tower. Wait A minute, King Lu. At this moment, Kong Xian called out to King Lu. King Lu looked back in confusion, wondering what else Kong Xian had going on. No need to hide your strength, this is your time. Kong Xian told King Lu he is certain that in the entire Yanhuang region, and even in the whole world, no one among his peers is a green rival. Even those elites and champions who have been famous for a long time are not necessarily green rival. After today, King Lu's name will surely resound throughout the Yanhuang region, even the whole world. Before Chi Hong came, this was his era alone. King Lu nodded and then followed Zhao Jin to the registration office. It's really exciting. Looking at the background of King Lu leaving, Erica murmured, beginning to look forward to King Lu's fight with the owner of this tower. Let's go over there and sit and wait for them. Kong Xian suggested, pointing to the sofa in the hall. Today King Lu and Zhao Linger are the protagonists. Hello, we are going to have a challenge in the battle tower. Not long after, Zhao Jin led King Lu and his party to the reception desk of the battle tower. Okay, show me your ID card or trainer card. The receptionist was busy and said to Zhao Jin without raising her head. Hearing the receptionist's voice, Zhao Jin handed the trainer cards and ID cards of several people to each other. I saw the receptionist swiping their trainer cards and ID cards back and forth on a machine. After a while, several people were registered. Okay, the registration has been done for you. Here is your room card. Since several of them are junior trainers who have not received professional title ratings, they can only be matched up to intermediate trainers. There is already a trainer waiting for you in the room. If you win, you can continue the challenge. If you lose, the room belongs to the winner. The receptionist returned their ID cards and trainer cards to them and gave them instructions. Intermediate trainer, then. What if I want to challenge a more powerful trainer? After hearing what the receptionist said, King Lu asked doubtfully, his target is the owner of this tower. Haha, if you want to challenge the stronger rival, you need to defeat 5 rivals in a row. Regarding King Lu's answer, the receptionist answered truthfully on the surface, but there's indeed disdain in my heart. A guy who doesn't even have a career rating wants to challenge the stronger rival. It would be nice not to be brushed off in the first round. Okay, I get it. King Lu nodded, took his room card and looked for his room to wait for the trainer to challenge them. 3015, it should be from here. Look at the words 3015 written on the door plate. King Lu took the room card and opened the room. Opened the door and go in. He saw a girl of similar age waiting for him in the room. Brothers, did you see that he is a mega handsome little brother? Wait and see how I handle him. Seeing King Lu enter the room, Genki began to say with some joy, she is a student at the Magic City Kagetsu Pokemon Academy. Although she only has the title of junior trainer, her Pokemon strength is intermediate to advanced. When I have nothing to do, I would come to the battle tower to start a live broadcast to hone myself. I didn't expect to meet such a handsome guy in the second game today. Playing against handsome guys always makes you feel happy, but soon the barrage on her phone caught her attention. Xiaoyu, do you think this person looks similar to Gary? It looks like Gary, teacher. The two of them are completely carved from the same mold. I heard that Principal Kong and his friends went to the Magic City. Is this one of Principal Kong's people? I have seen him in Principal Kong's circle of friends. He's from Principal Kong's school. Sister Yu, please get his contact information. Netizens in Gan Yui's live broadcast room instantly saw the resemblance between King Lu and Gary. Gary, teacher, only. After seeing the barrage on her phone did Gan Yui react. She said why this person felt so familiar. If you look carefully, this person does look almost exactly like Gary, teacher. I'm King Lu, Gary's brother. The girl's exclamation was heard. King Lu replied calmly, ha, brothers, this is Gary's brother King Lu. They are really Principal Kong's people. Hear King Lu's answer. Gan Yui happily shared it with netizens watching her live broadcast. Gary is handsome, but where is this stern chef? Brother, if I win you, can you give me your contact information? Gan Yui said to King Lu. Being able to be matched with her proves that their abilities are similar. Good, King Lu nodded. It makes no difference to him whether he agrees or not. Now he just wants to end the game quickly. Brothers, did you hear that I am going to be single today? After hearing King Lu's promise, Gan Yui happily showed off to the live broadcast room. Please give me flowers. The girls in the live broadcast room were filled with envy and jealousy one after another. Gan Yui failed in the curse battle. I want to order your contact information. Go. Pikachu, Gan Ui immediately took out a Pokeball and released her Pokemon. A yellow Pikachu appeared at Gan Ui's feet. Pika. Pika. Pikachu fell on all fours and looked at Kinglu with high spirits. Let's go. Scissor. Green also releases a Pokemon of his own with the red light of the Pokeball flashing. A red mantis Pokemon that Gan Ui had never seen before appeared in front of Kinglu. A Pokemon I've never seen before. Seeing Scissor appear, Gan Ui was slightly startled. She had never seen this Pokemon before. She has a habit of immersing herself in battles at this time. Gan Ui didn't notice at all that the barrage in the live broadcast room had exploded. What kind of Pokemon is this? I have never seen it before. I don't know, it's a bit like Scyther. I know this Pokemon, it's called Scissor. It's level 7080 at the championship level. Holy shit, it's real or fake. Level 78, why are you lying to me? You can search the internet for videos of people being tortured at Qingtang College in Suzhou and Hangzhou, and you will know it at a glance. I am from Ivy Academy, Li Mengsa from our school, a senior trainer. There is no room for resistance against him. I seem to have some impression, damn it, it's true. It's really level 78. This is so shameless, taking an elder's Pokemon. Is there a possibility that this is his Pokemon? Come on, you can train me at champion level Pokemon. Some students in Suzhou and Hangzhou recognized the red Scissor immediately when they saw it. There was no way this Scissor had left such a profound impact on them. Mengsu, look at this shameless guy going to the battle tower to torture people again. Why is Evergreen College so shameless? It deserves turned like this. In Ivy Academy, Li Mengsu, who was reciting Pokemon ability, was suddenly interrupted by the voice of her best friend. She saw her best friend holding the phone and putting it in front of her. The video played on the phone is the battle between Kinglu and Gan Ui. Seeing this scene, Mengsa also closed her notebook and watched carefully like her classmates. She initially thought this was a Pokemon named Scissor given to him by his elders, but after Gary teacher competed with a mysterious Pokemon, she changed her mind. The younger brother both has a level 60 Blastoise, so it doesn't seem strange that as an older brother, he has a championship level Pokemon. But Li Mengsu didn't know that Kinglu didn't only have one championship level Pokemon in his hands. Li Mengsu watched the live broadcast seriously. The anchor on the phone began to command his Pikachu to attack Scissor. What Pokemon? I want to order your contact information. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. Gan Ui took the lead in commanding Pikachu to attack Scissor. PS, the green era is about to begin. Please vote for me. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.